What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We're going to talk about the shy. We're going to talk about power and, of course, whatever else come to mind. I got my girl Nita as well as Moochilla in the building. What's good, lady?
Uh-oh.
Hey.
Can y'all hear us?
Look like
Let us know.
Okay, there you go.
Let us know if
right,
you can hear us.
Yeah, definitely. I might have to go ahead and switch to a different internet connection. My damn internet started hating as soon as I started. I don't know what the hell going on, but anyway, I do got the backup connections. I got the French connection going, so let's see what we may have to do. all right, definitely. Hey, thanks everybody that was watching on Lamont's channel, Lamont Tyson. Appreciate everybody. Make sure y'all subscribe and support everybody. I got the links in the description box, and we're gonna talk about a couple more shy questions that may come up, as well as power, raising Canaan. All right, so first, when we get started, we talked a lot about the shy just a minute ago, so I'm gonna ask you, Nita, what was your first thoughts about Raising Canaan book 3, and what did you rate it to overall?
Man, I really dug. It was like a palate cleanser. Like with Raising Canaan, they really couldn't really try to follow the story template, because with book 2, they was trying to make Tariq to be the next ghost. And so I felt like they were really lazy with trying to follow like the same types of scenarios. But I think what we're going to hit with Raising Canaan is that we're going to see something totally different. It's going to be a palate cleanser. We're going back into the 90s. I'm a 90s baby. 90s was my high school years. Oh my God. And I so loved those years. I had a good time. I loved it. It was good to me. Some people said it was slow. It wasn't slow. I felt like they were developing characters. You didn't know these
Exactly.
You didn't know them from a can of paint. So I appreciated me trying to learn these characters. And no, it don't always have to be boom, 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 action packed. And it had that. So I don't even know what they're talking about. Honestly, I give it an A. Not an A- or A+, just a solid A. I think they did what they need to do.
I agree with you, Nita. I like the fact
on
that
on a number scale, what would that A be?
A would be
numbers,
a 9.
Would you get at a 10?
A 9.
A 9. Okay.
With this show, I like the fact that they have 50 Cent narrating it. I like the fact that he's introducing all the characters one by one. He's giving y'all all the breakdown of the characters
and the context,
and like what their position is and all of that. I like the fact that he's doing all of that with it.
Yeah.
And I like the music that they playing. I'm old school, so that's just my era. I recognize a lot of areas that they filmed in, so I'm gonna see if I could drive around and take little selfies so y'all can see it. So hopefully I have that up for y'all. It was just I like everything. My son even said it was a moment where Rock reminded him. He said, "Ma, you remember this?" And he said, "I did something like what Rock did when he was little." So I don't know. Maybe we could get him on here. Look, I plead the fifth.
I hope.
Look, I plead the fifth. Nah, but I'll let y'all tell the story. It wasn't the batteries though, but it was something similar.
Hey, I want to give a special thanks to XX Montel. Thanks for supporting the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, I'm from the 90s as well. I was born in 78, so you know,
Me too,
I'm like a couple years younger than they were. Oh yeah, so
I
definitely the
was already
90s
out
was
of
a
high
great
school,
time.
man.
I had a great time. It was, man. Yeah, see. So yeah, man. But yeah, I graduated high school in 96. It was right in the middle basically of the 90s, man. The 90s, man.
I graduated in
The
86. So
beatbox
85,
and
I
stuff,
remember
break
all of
dance
that.
and all of that stuff. I used to break dance and do all of that stuff. And that was what, in 85. Yeah, man, that was cool, man. I love 50 narration. That was dope. Even when he was talking about, man, what they speaking in is cold. So mind your business. Ha!
Yeah.
Different little jokes and little stuff. Yeah, that was
Perfect. It
dope.
was
So
perfect.
they did a great job.
If you lived in that era, you pick it up. You understand.
Yeah, you got a lot of nostalgia from it.
Yes.
If Larry didn't, he didn't. It didn't
Yes.
resonate with him because that's
Yeah.
not the life he lived. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know where that park is.
I'm telling
That
you,
park, I know where that. I know where all of
yeah.
that is. Yeah.
absolutely.
That's what's up.
Absolutely.
That's how I be feeling sometimes when I watch like The Shy, even though the writing ain't nowhere the same as this. So that's a letdown. But anyway, this was really cool. And what I noticed, a lot of people, so I give it about an 8. I watched it about 3 or 4 times since then. I really want to give it more, but I'm hoping that
Why'd you give it an 8?
better. But I
Why'd you
could
give it an
possibly
8?
give it an 8.5.
Okay, what was your reason for giving it an 8 or 8.5?
Well, I mean, 8 is a good rating, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still good.
8 is really good, though. That's almost just 2 away from being perfect. Yeah. So, like, it's not that easy to
No, it's
get a
not
great
Roy
rating,
Wilkins, Mo.
but I like everything. Yeah. And yeah, it was great. I liked it all, how it was all put together and everything, and I think it's gonna get better.
I love
so I don't say that this, but it was a damn
That's
good
the park
opening.
over by
And
Basie Pond.
they covered a lot, and some people from a lot of people was a lot of people was saying that as much, and most of those people were younger, so they probably didn't relate and have the nostalgia feel that people that lived in that time or were closer to living in that time would have. And so it's like a divide a little bit between the audience, between the younger and the people that lived during that time. So I'd say, man, you just, gotta kind of put yourself in that mindset. Just like when they was at the park on that brick cell phone. Like, to have that, you was special. You was doing one back then to have that cell phone. Everybody got a cell phone nowadays and stuff. And so,
you knew the players back then. You knew the players. You knew who they were.
And we'll see. Let's see. Is it internet issues again?
I think so. It feels like there's a delay between us and you. And so it feels like we're talking and then you're talking to us and then we're talking over you and then you're waiting. So I don't know. Should we restart it? Like, how do y'all feel? How do y'all feel in the chat? Is it too jarring for you guys? Oh, Cobra Star says not the internet issues.
Yeah, it's probably a delay.
Are y'all gonna come back, or are we just gonna try
to
things or whatever? But I'm really talk about power because I talk about power.
Oh yeah, no, it seemed like it's moving a little better now. So, if it mess up again, then I'll just switch to my other Wi-Fi. Hopefully that'll work. My extension cord must have got unplugged to Larry's house. But man, I tried to get switched from AT&T, man. that they won't let me. They talking about that I can't go to Xfinity or whatever because AT&T got my area.
Right. I was about to say some places have certain areas. Like I can only have Xfinity.
Man.
Like I want Fios. That's what I want. That's what I
That's
normally
what I got.
get. Yeah. I don't have
I
no
never
issues
heard of
with
that.
Fios.
Huh?
It's Verizon.
It's Verizon.
You heard of Verizon, I know. Verizon and Fios. Oh,
yeah, definitely. No, I can hear you.
Okay, the thing that I like about Power Book 3 is that I feel like it's a palate cleanser. I feel like us taking it back in the day gives us something different, something fresh. It actually makes you take yourself out of modern day from Power 1 and Book 2 and go back into the days of like where we used to be when crack was really pumping and when it was really like being in the streets heavy like it was, like, you know, them gang wars similar to Snowfall. Like it was real tough. Like you knew what you knew in the 90s and stuff like that. The drug game was still very much apparent. Like now, I mean, I might be far removed because I'm not in the streets, but I still know the streets, but I'm not in the streets. But I don't feel like I feel the drug game like I felt it when I was living in that area. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's still alive as well, but I don't know how they playing the game in 2020. Like I don't know how that works. So I think it's a nice little homage, and we can go back to Paid in Full days, and you know, back in them days, you know, Menace and you know all that stuff.
I'll tell you how the drug game is now. Now is you get on an app and you place an order, and then they send you some crypto, and then you use Uber to drop off your stuff, and then you take a Lyft home. You know.
You probably spot on, Larry. You probably spot on.
These kids nowadays, they don't play. They're like, I'm not about to go get shot up on some street corner, you know. They were like, place your order in the app. Yeah. We'll send an Uber over to you. You know, this is what you do. You go to Uber
plus
Eats.
It's a lot more personal.
Special,
like you got people.
Special item on the menu.
Uber Eats. Right. Yeah, people got phone numbers and apps now, and you know people number. Like I knew guys that sold drugs for years. I never knew their real name, let alone their phone number. We just knew each other, and you know, whatever the case may be.
Giving you their real name anyway. They'll be saying his name is Craig or something. Craig and them.
Right.
Oh man.
I had told Craig and them.
Right.
Craig and them, huh?
I was gonna keep it with them. Gotta go.
It's always in them.
Right.
See you when I see you.
They
love Larry, how many times have you watched Power Book 3? Did you watch
all
it
of name in the beginning is little something?
Watch it one more time and try to go back into your nostalgia into the 90s. Put away your expectations and kind of just trying to channel yourself back in the 90s and how like talking in code and how, you know, how all of that kind of worked. Like this was a moment we didn't know these characters. This episode was a moment of character development. And so I just want you to appreciate that maybe so you can understand how these people move and what their roles are and stuff like that, and not say, oh, it's slow. I felt like it had enough. We had a dog get burnt and cooked in the microwave. We had a couple of drive-bys. We had some
came and get busy with the sock in the back.
We had taking over. We had parlays. Like, what do you want?
I mean, we did. I agree. We had all that, and somehow with all of that,
you was disappointed.
It still felt like it wasn't the banger first episode of a series that I was expecting. Like I was expecting so much more, and I felt like it was a decent episode.
If my internet keep lagging, I'm gonna switch.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yours lame?
I thought AT&T fixed you up. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think he froze up a little bit.
All right, well, go ahead.
I'm about to do a channel takeover.
Just point
out. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was bad at all. It was still a good episode. I just, you know what it felt like? It felt like they brought us into this and they kept saying it. You know how my story ended. Let me show you how it began. You saw how my last fight ended. Let me show you how my first one went. They started it off with the idea and the mindset that everybody watched Power and they were coming to this already with full knowledge of the other show. And that's fine on one level, but they also needed to realize there's some people that probably are coming in this
and
that didn't watch the other show.
And that's exactly why he was giving a breakdown on the characters.
Right. I felt like I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it wasn't a good episode. I just wasn't maybe my expectations were too high. And I did say I need to watch it. I need to watch it again and maybe just sort of temper my expectations a little bit. But I still liked it. I'll tell you what's her name. I love some Anna McCord. She is my joint. That little chick is hot as blazes. So I'll tell you, two chicks I love a lot are in this show. I love Anna McCord. She's super hot. I loved her since I first saw her in Nip Tuck a long time ago. And I love Patina Miller. So I'm loving both of them. But the dog in the microwave, that was just pretty gross.
That was crucial.
You ain't want no puppy chow midnight snack.
How y'all act like this is so bad when they did it in Fatal Attraction with the bunny rabbit in the boiling pot?
Yeah, but that was
how y'all
different.
act like this is
That was different.
The
bunny rabbit in the pot.
In the microwave?
Because the bunny rabbit in the pot was just sort of stirring there and cooking. That thing was all bubbled over and that was gross.
She was like, what is that smell?
Yeah.
All right, let me ask y'all this now. What do y'all think about
Jay, make sure you remind me about 20 minutes to take my beer out the freezer so my bottles don't freeze and break.
Oh, yeah.
You want to know if the New York accents was accurate? Yeah, some way. I mean,
I don't think so. I think they were a little lax based on your accent. They didn't.
Well, I don't have an accent. I don't know what y'all talking about.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
I don't got no accent.
But you couldn't even keep a straight face on that one.
Right.
Really?
So let me ask y'all this.
My accent was kind of off.
Yeah, let me ask y'all this. All right, we're gonna start with Moochie. Since you a native New Yorker, what dynamic with the school and everything and Kanan relationship?
I went to the high school for film school one year.
So did you really?
They was
What'd you do in the regular year? So you had to go to summer school.
I went there for Spanish because I laughed at the teacher. Let me tell y'all, the teacher fell on ice when we was going to school, and I saw her and I laughed. And I just had a bad year with her after that.
Oh man,
he got the last laugh on your ass.
Teacher. I seen her slip and fall on ice, and instead of helping her up, I was just laughing.
She said that
was Support Gaming says Marissa equals Monet or Raquel. Which one was Marissa again?
Marissa in the chat. Man, don't pay him no attention. Marissa D.
Oh, Marissa D. Yeah. Okay.
Look, Bella got cooked in the microwave.
Bella.
Did you make poopy?
Who was the white girl fucking? Was it
the dude that she went to dinner with? So I think he probably left the door unlocked to let her homeboy in.
No, that wasn't him.
That was the dude.
That wasn't a dude. I think that was the dude on the club. I think that was Hugo.
Probably, sure? Yeah, that wasn't the same dude. I'm positive.
Okay,
so
well, I know that
this right here, that's a good question. So here, I'll show you a picture of the dude that his name's Symphony of the Night over here. He trying to get, and I'm gonna ask y'all a question about him too after I show you this. But this is the picture of him.
My Julio Power 1 This is my Julio of Power 3. Symphony.
Dude does have a smooth name, though. He does have a smooth name.
And this is him.
But we never saw Hugo. So how did y'all
see him? How you know
that's who he was?
I'm just speculating. I don't know.
Larry, we
started
that.
I don't know. The same person. That's not the same dude. Look.
Yuck. Ooh.
Yeah, that's not
regardless of whether it's Hugo or not.
No,
that's not Symphony.
Dude I seen in that bed. Hold on. I'm gonna have to look for my own self.
They in the bed.
Just some random dude. He's just some random dude.
He look like the same dude.
He's just some random
variant.
dude.
A variant.
You said a variant.
That is not the dude I seen her fuck it. I'm telling you. Hold on.
It is.
That chick is bad as hell, though, man. I like her.
There you go, right there, smelling that poopy.
She was like, what is that smell? It's your damn dog. That's what it is.
What is that?
That's your dog getting barbecued. That is your dog getting marked. That was terrible.
That was a hot dog.
Terrible.
If that's Hugo is a crackhead himself. I mean, he may be a club owner, but he probably smoked that shit too. Because
Rappy was the one that put the dog in the microwave though.
Why? Because he's skinny?
Because he's skinny. Because he's sleeping with her.
Somebody said it's Chinese food. White leaf.
That was
I'm trying to find a damn scene because that's not the same scene I saw.
Well, I don't know what you was watching. That's the same scene. All right, let's bring it back to Symphony. Yeah, let me bring it back to Symphony, and y'all, I'm gonna let what y'all think. So, do you think this dude is gonna be, because he want to date a dangerous woman? Do you think that he may be a cop? That's why he working in that bar, or is he really in school, or what? Go ahead, Nita. We start from Nita and go down the list. Nita, what you think?
I think he a plant. For some reason, my spidey senses keep saying that he's a plant.
Really?
And yes, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way, but I feel like it's gonna cause some tension and some drama. But I feel like to cause a tension and drama, that's what you need. You need that person in there, somebody that she connected to. And then I just see all the drama that can play out from that storyline being there. But for real, I kept saying that he was a plant. I kept saying, for some reason, I just kept saying he was playing. He was just like, oh no, I'm just here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And he kind of almost seemed like too good to be,
Well, they were speaking openly about the drugs right in front of him.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, some reason she was able to trust him on some level. Like, you know how they put a plan out for, like, how certain dudes, like dudes in the game, he like light-skinned skinny bitches with blonde hair or red hair. You put a plan in there, and that's you can get somebody to open up to you. And I mean, that's just how the game is played. You know what I'm saying? It's just like one of those type things. If somebody with power has the money to be able to do that, whether he working for the cops or he working for Hugo, he still could be working for somebody, getting some information from Raquel.
No, I think he's legit. I think he's gonna be sort of like her refuge away from the game, because you could tell already, like, he's not afraid of it. He seems like he probably grew up around people in the game. He may not have been in it, but he grew up around people in it because he seems more than comfortable with it. It doesn't scare him. And I think he is, in some sense, what, we've already got an idea, like he's sort of going down the path that she wishes her son would go down. And I think they're sort of opposites in a lot of ways. He's like sort of the dude that's educated and trying to do something better. He's about the community. When he was at dinner that he was talking about urban planning and how this affects the Black community and I think on the other end, here she is, you know, sort of like this hard ass gangster chick who's really kind of destroying the community at the same time. And I think they're sort of just opposites. And I think he's going to be her sort of her refuge away from the craziness when those times come. So
Moochie,
I like
what
him. I
you
don't
think?
think he's a cop.
I think it's too early to tell. I don't want to say he's a cop. I want to feel like he's her outlet where she wants to get away from everything, like what Larry said. And he's gonna show her a different world because she's used to messing with street guys. She used to messing with hustlers and street dudes. So Kanan's father was like a big dude in the neighborhood. The dude that in the beginning when Kanan got beat up, he was like a big guy. Remember, Kanan was saying he got burnt up. I hope we see a little bit of his story because they said he got burnt up because he told on somebody.
Oh, that was her. Yeah, that was his
boyfriend. Yeah, because he said he would be dead in a year, and they burnt him up. I'm sorry.
More time explaining.
Jay, you freezing up a bit.
Yeah, he got burnt up for snitching.
Right. It's still freezing up.
Now you're good.
All right.
Get that. You might get that
no, I said they could have spent a little more time. There it go. How it is now.
Okay.
Yeah, you might sound a little bit better now.
All right. They could. I said they should have spent a little more time in 1985 instead of just one day. But
yeah, that was real quick. It was like they were there and then they were gone.
They might do a flashback though.
We can do flashbacks, yes.
They do a flashback. I don't think that's the last time we're gonna see Kanan as a young boy. I think we're gonna see something again where they show him. Hopefully,
remember because the dude Unique mentioned him, so I feel like they're gonna keep on flashing back.
Yup, and the girl and Davina mentioned his father.
Right. The Dacon, something like that.
I don't remember what the father's name was, but I know she mentioned the father. They didn't say his name, but she was just saying that his father.
I think they're going to show him. I think
they were saying how his father was running stuff.
I hope it's.
I guess he's available now since he took out $120.
Well,
I don't know. I think she's gonna be a problem. I think her and Jukebox gonna get into it.
That's one way to break
She
them
gonna probably do Kanan dirty.
I hope.
Yeah, so let me ask y'all this. Let me ask you this question right quick, and then I'll let y'all get into it. So, do you think that Kanan only popped $120 because he was on his mama corner, or was it 2 in 1 where he gonna take out the competition for that girl?
Yeah,
Larry, go ahead.
I feel like he was killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right, Larry, kick it up and switch it around. Go ahead. You think it's just that?
I mean, okay. That's the wrong thing to start doing. To start messing, start shooting people and messing up your business because you start mixing in the personal stuff with it. That's just dangerous, man. It's just that's just dangerous because you up there messing around and mixing the business, the personal stuff in there over some girl, and then you're gonna do that every time you break up. Next time you see a girl you're interested in, she got a dude, you're gonna go shoot it. You're gonna shoot the next dude. I mean, I don't know. I tell you, I had some issues with this because it was like he went and busted. He shot dude, and he said this is the first time I ever put my gun on somebody. And then it was like he was just okay. It was like he went home and everything.
I disagree with you there. I disagree with you there.
It seemed like he was okay.
I disagree with you there, Larry. I disagree
he had a little handshake.
Listen, when he came home. First of all, when the guy grabbed his shirt, he froze. So he already was kind of like shooken up because he doesn't know for sure if he actually shot him or if it was his homeboy. Now, with that, when he got home and the mother got in his behind and he went upstairs and they told him he got to burn his shirt and all that, when he was sitting on the bed, he was shaking. So he was kind of shooken up that he took a life.
Okay. I guess I wasn't feeling it.
It wasn't much.
No,
I guess I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they show him having a nightmare about it.
Well, they should have shown that in this episode then.
But then it would have been slower. You wanted it to be something, and they tried to develop the characters, but if they develop it, it'll be even more slower than what you want.
You think they should have more than 10 episodes?
That's all it is.
They can have other seasons. They can have other seasons.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say whether or not they should have more than 10 episodes because it just depends on how the rest of them play out. Sometimes you end up feeling like the season, like to be honest with you, I felt like Power Book 2 was too short. Like I felt like they could have gone 12, maybe 15 episodes on that.
Yeah. And when we get to 7, 8, and 9, you may feel like that about it.
You got to keep in mind also, they're filming through the pandemic.
Yeah,
they was filming through the pandemic, and when they was filming this, they was filming it through the pandemic because a lot of people were saying when they was at that park.
That's true.
They was at that park and they was somewhere on something Boulevard somewhere.
Yeah, they did sign on for season 2 already. So we'll see how that.
I was saying that Kanan was inserting himself in grown folks' business. So doing that caused a ripple effect. He wasn't in the business, like he was around the business, but he wasn't in the business. That's why the information wasn't funneled to him. And when he made that mistake and he made that choice, he fucked everything up.
Yeah, he did.
But that's what happens. But see, that's what happens when you try and leave somebody sort of halfway in stuff, but you don't really give him all the info. Like you never saw Tariq going shooting up Truth because his dad had him over at Choate. He was like, "You're not in the game."
And that's what Rock was trying to do. She was trying to move him to stop. She was trying to get him to go.
She should have had him at grandma's.
She wasn't trying to do that. She should have had him at her grandma's. And this is the other thing. She said, that's why I rented your grandmother that house in case something happens to me. Why are you not buying a grandmother house? If something happens to you, who's gonna pay that rent? Not you, because you're gonna be dead. You should have bought that grandmother house.
It could be paid off.
It could be paid off.
It's not paid off because she's renting it. She said she's renting the house.
Look, by the end of the season, she's gonna be paid for the house. Yeah,
she got that damn Range Rover. That was $5 back then. The Range Rover that was like 70 grand when 70 grand was like 150.
Yeah, this ain't still expensive.
It doesn't make any sense for me to say I set your grandmother up here so she can take care of you, just to say if I die, we're gonna be ass out on the street. It don't make any sense. But
that's what she said. She said she rented your grandmother's house. She said that's why I rented your grandmother that house in case something happens. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you rent it
out for years until he turned 18?
But why would you rent a house and then in case something happens to her, and because if something happens to her, she don't have any money to pay the rent? Who's gonna pay the rent?
Grandmother's probably dead.
She got Lulu, her brother, and she got the other brother.
Yeah, there's other people.
She said she told.
I know what you're saying, but I'm just trying to give you a little thing. We only watched the first episode, so let's see if they elaborate on it.
Okay. One of the people. Go ahead. My bad.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
All right. One of the people said that they killed Buck 20 too soon. What y'all think? Nita, let me hear what you got to say. Then Moochie, then Larry.
I don't think so because they put Buck 22 in 1985 when we first started out. He was one of the dudes, as far as I know. I think
it was 91, but I don't. He might have been in 85. I didn't pick him up.
I thought he was one of the dudes from 1985 that put the beat down on him at first, and then the beef carried over, and in 1991 or 19 whatever year they were in, he was like, he found out that he was looking through the window and saw a buck talking to Unique. He was like, oh shit, I didn't know he put him on. So I felt like there was some history. So I put 2 and 2 together. I'm saying I don't remember them saying the names, but I feel like there was some narration that kind of tied it to the two because they're all in the same community. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like that there was some connection.
Chris P. Stupid. That's what they laughing at Crispy as.
Crispy got jokes.
Wow, that's that man with the mustache that was saying the rent is too damn high.
Right.
Yeah.
Ain't he in New York? The rent too high
Yeah,
party.
New York. That's what
Yeah.
the
All right, Moochie. What you think about that? Besides the rent being too damn high party,
what do I
they
think
killed
about
Buck 20 too fast.
Look, they had to do something to set it off because remember they shot at the mother the night before. They shot at her when they was coming out of that diner the night before.
They didn't shoot at her.
They shot
the gun up
but
in the air where everybody ducked behind the car. You gonna wait around to see if they shot at you or shot up in the air, Larry? What you gonna do? Are you gonna be
I totally get what you're saying, but they weren't trying to shoot at them. They were just trying to. They were just trying to get their attention.
Saying they still. You got to look at it in a kid's mind. He still feel like, yo, we almost got shot at. You heard the Puerto Rican kids say, oh, my life flashed before me last night.
Yeah, did you see the little Puerto Rican, the little girl boy? She just got all moist down low.
From,
she was up there like, "Oh, that is the bravest thing a man's ever done for me." You know,
right?
And he said, "You've been hanging out with the wrong dudes," and she was like, "Clearly, she was all up in here."
That's what made me like Lulu. That's what made me like Lulu. But you know the his friend, what's his name? Sean, famous Figueroa.
Yeah.
He's from Illegal Tender. Remember the little boy that was the brother?
Illegal Tender. I don't think I've
Illegal Tender. That was the little brother.
Back in the day.
That was the little brother.
With Hispanic people and
when they
run and they was on the run.
And they killed the father. And then they was coming after the son.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever watched that.
That is Illegal Tender.
Was it Omarion? It was somebody else. It was somebody that was famous that made me watch it.
It was. I know it was. I think his name is Vic Morales. He's in Arrow, the guy.
I'm gonna look it up.
And
okay, y'all keep talking. But
he's
yeah,
in Arrow. But they had the lady that used to be on CSI Miami. She played the mother, and it was basically how they got mixed up with the people from Puerto Rico that was bringing the drugs over here, and it went left, and they killed the father.
Well,
you know who
back
did
to
the
this
movie,
show we all seen because I ain't seen none of this stuff you talking about.
Yeah, you know who did the movie?
How did y'all feel about the
John Singleton did that movie?
Saying nigga. How y'all feel about that?
See, that's back in the day. People meant that as dude. Just like Kanan said, I ain't about to be going to school with a bunch of white niggas. That just meant dude.
Oh, okay.
As
you talking about the Puerto Rican dude? You're asking how we feel about the Puerto Rican dude?
Saying that. They're like, he
was hanging out with black people. That's how it was.
But people didn't take that to mean being a black person back then either. Like when I was back in that time period,
this generation is too sensitive with certain stuff.
Yeah,
they too sensitive.
I get what you're getting at, Nita, because I don't want white dudes using that word, but Puerto Ricans are black.
That's true. They got the same experience, but not only that.
Like when I was looking at it, I felt like I was looking at a white dude with curly hair. That's all I
saw.
You got he's Jewish.
In New York, that's normal.
No,
just like people got mad when Cardi B was saying nigga, but that's in New York, that's normal.
Right. Plus, you got to keep in mind, I know at least in Chicago, when we were that age and that time period, we seen a black or a white person. It just meant like saying dude. And we said it as often as somebody would say, man, look at this dude. Or I ain't about to be going to school with no white dudes. Or, man, look at this dude here. Or, man, this dude's stupid or something. Or, you know, whatever. So we didn't take it literally as people do today and are so sensitive and stuff. And everybody is quick to be, you know, offended or taking it their word. Not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just saying it's a different culture today than there was then. You know,
everybody's
think that
more
we have to-
separated in ethnicities now. It wasn't like that back in the 90s. Everybody
Right.
hung with everybody.
I just think we have to understand. I think we also have to understand there's a lot of Afro Latinas out there. There's Latino people there. I mean, you have all the people from Puerto Rico. You have all those folks from the Dominican. You have people from Colombia. You know, you have people from all over South and Central America that are black and they're Hispanic. They're both. They're Afro. They're Afro Latino and
what do they claim?
It's not even, listen. It's
they
what
claim
the chat that's agreeing
what
with me.
They pass by.
They claim
Look,
both.
you got some Spanish people that play the fence. Listen, you got some of them that play the fence. When they with their black friends, they like that. When they at work, they'll be with the white people and just like you switch your code and you talking your street talk when you around your people, but when you at work, you're like, hello, may I help you and this and that, and speaking proper. So I mean,
sorry to bother you.
It is what it is.
I'm not arguing.
I mean, maybe you have the same situation. Maybe you have a similar situation today where you have all these black kids running around not claiming to be black. They all run around talking about they're biracial. It's like, nah, nigga, when the cops pull you over, you're black. That's what it is. You're black. That's just like, but Puerto Rican, I mean, forget about what people claim to be. We're talking about what people's ethnic heritage is, what their DNA puts them in. And Puerto Ricans are black. They are basically just Africans and Hispanic folks. They got put together and boom, Puerto Ricans. If you ever go to Puerto Rico, you're going to see a whole bunch of people that look like you that speak Spanish.
No,
yeah.
I bring
well,
up
you
what
got
you
the Taino and other stuff.
I bring up what you claim is what you get benefited by.
Yeah, I mentioned Cardi B because everybody was saying they had a problem with her saying the N-word.
You have
Cardi B black.
Yeah, but people had a problem with her saying the N-word, but I mentioned it. But in actuality, she's Dominican and Trinidadian, so she is black technically. She's right. And now they got the new term, Afro Latina. This is stuff I never heard of. I know people that's mixed, that's Puerto Rican and black. I know people that's Cuban and Puerto Rican. They didn't do Afro Latino. All of this new stuff, they getting ridiculous with it now. It's just like, come on.
I don't think it's ridiculous. I think people just want to recognize both sides of their heritage. When you have,
okay, well, if you want to say that technically, I'm Cuban and black. My parents, some of my parents come from Cuba, but I don't know no Spanish.
Well, you don't have to.
If you see me, you want to say I'm black, right?
All I'm saying is not knowing the language
is what you identify.
That's why I don't understand
what you identify by.
All I'm trying to say is not knowing Spanish does not mean you're surrendering your heritage on one end. I have African in me. I don't speak any sort of African language, but I have African in me. It doesn't it doesn't take away from that.
They see you a certain way, right?
Exactly.
It's on looks.
That's why I don't understand what's the big deal about it.
If Fame can say that he's a white boy because he just got pale skin and got wavy hair, and they mistake him for white, but he out here touting nigga, and he claimed white. I mean, it's just like, it's what you claim for me. If you're anti-black, then
if we go in this time period, they wasn't talking about.
I know, but at the same time,
black up into 7 different categories.
They looking at you, and if you benefit to be on the white side, or you pass to be on the white side, then that's what it is.
Nita, but the thing is that we've had since the time of slavery, we have had people that have been passable, people that have looked white but were black, and they passed, and they did it when they needed to. Some people passed and they went full time into the white world. Other people just passed when they needed to get a job or something else. Right. It doesn't make them any less black. It just means that they had to do what they had to do in those moments so that they could survive. And that same thing holds true for people that are Latin or Asian or anything else. There are people that are passable.
All right, go ahead and make your last point, Nita, then we're going to move on.
Y'all giving them an unbiased privilege because they are closer to whiter skin, basically, is what y'all saying. And that's all
I was saying. His skin is white doesn't make him black. My niece looks white, but she's clearly black.
Look how light I've been getting. I got that Michael Jackson up in me. What?
Jay, cut it
right.
Like I'm ending
And
here.
Jay gets his pass. He can drop the N-bomb if he wants to.
I'm moving on.
I'm gonna give y'all something.
Do y'all know that Jay is the only one that's working in Hollywood now, right? Because he got that light skin.
And I ain't in no damn.
I'm gonna give y'all something else. Remember the first couple of seasons of Power, Tommy was saying the N-word?
Oh, I gotta go take my my beer out the
Tommy
freezer.
had braids though, so that gives him a pass.
Huh?
Tommy had braids when he was in high school. Remember that the last clip of Ghost and Tommy in high school?
That's appropriation.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, but I mean, if he was hanging around, if he was with all black people, he was just one of those kids.
It's one. They get muddy. You know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna keep arguing it. Let's move on. Let's get to the next point. Let's get to the next point.
I'll just say this last thing and we move on. Black people and people of color, because of the slave trade, been taken all over the world. And black people, some of the most beautiful people on earth, and they done slept with all kind of other people, and you got all kind of people out there, you know. And I'm not from Puerto Rico or the Dominican. My mom is from Panama, and it's people that look like Larry that don't know nothing about no damn English, speaking straight Spanish, because Spain
my mom is from Watts, and she speaks Spanish.
Yeah, like, because Spain is who conquered. All you got to do is follow the language. The English settled America. That's why we speak English. The Spanish settled Central and South America. That's why they speak Spanish. Portuguese, Portugal, you know, Brazil and different stuff. You know, just go around the world and different stuff. So, anyway.
I'm not down for white boys using the N-word. I don't like it when it happens. So... Yeah. Like I have issues. Like people have talked about what's his name, that rapper, what's his name, G-Eazy, using the N-word in his songs. I don't like that shit. I don't listen to his music because of it.
I don't even know who he is, but I used
to like Guns N' Roses until Axl Rose dropped the N-bomb in one of his songs. I was like, I can't get out with him anymore. You know
what?
Slash is black. His mother
he had some black roots.
And that was one of the reasons they said that group broke up, because he told them, he's like, you do know I'm black, right? And apparently they had some issues over it, and the group broke up.
Yeah, it's just like you can pick and choose, and that's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but you saying that about a Puerto Rican dude.
Right. All right, let's move on. Hey, it's almost 100 people in here. Can we get some more likes? I appreciate it. Get 100 likes. Don't forget to subscribe to everybody's channel right here. The link's in the description box below. Make sure you all check them out. They all got great content. And, you know, I appreciate some super chats help support it. I appreciate it already have supported. And let's go ahead. Some more of this. This is a great episode.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look,
be careful though, because Moochie will get on here and be naked, so be careful.
I'm not naked. Stop saying that.
Lean back forward so I can tease it.
Just bringing all the words on here for me. Go ahead, she's naked.
Just naked, just act like it's dead.
I'm not naked.
Not dead.
Hey, you might get the big reveal. Y'all go ahead and get them likes up. Get them chats going. Hey, this night talk up in here. You might have a night show.
You know?
Yeah. Somebody Spike says Drake says nigga and he Jewish.
Right.
Drake is black.
His father is the blackest dude ever. Did you see that mustache?
We're not talking about Drake tonight. We're talking about power. Right?
I just brought up what was in the comments. I apologize.
Jake, are we talking about Jake? Are we talking about Drake or Jake from State Farm?
Drake produced a white baby. Did you see his son? Case closed.
Okay,
we're going back.
Come on now, just
I'm
because
sure he had a white.
That's not right. Just because someone's child is very fair skinned does not make them white.
That's true.
It does not make them white.
Shaq Duncan for the super chat, $24.99.
Big
I like
dog,
it.
Shaq Duncan, the two
I
Hall
like
of
it.
Famers coming through.
You know,
I appreciate you, big dog. Thanks a lot for the support. Yeah, I may need to say it
Shaq
again to
Duncan.
get other
I wonder
people
if there's
listening.
do we have
Hey.
a Shaq free throw? know?
Let Tim Duncan take the free throws.
You got a video with you naked in basketball shorts? Come on, Jay. You got it.
Right. Let me ask y'all this right here about jukebox and since we talking about race relations. Moochie, I want you to kick it off since you a native New Yorker. You can explain. Some people were saying, why, in my other show, why does she have to like her? I was saying maybe the white girl was more in touch with her sexuality back then, and black girls.
I don't think Jukebox was really in touch with it yet because she already was nervous and pulled away when the girl tried to kiss her.
Right.
That's true, but she went there.
I think she just likes her because she was nice to her, and she likes her. But I don't know if she's ready to go to explore that route right yet, as of yet.
Okay,
I think that girl is gonna open that area up for her.
But were black girls open to being bisexual or, in lifestyle in the 90s?
Yeah, like the late 90s, I guess.
In high school,
they were always running around talking.
I knew of people that was like
that. Tomboys, but I didn't know that
it wasn't out in the open like how it is now.
Right.
I feel like in the 90s and the late 90s, it started to get all trendy when girls were running around talking about I'm twisted, But in California, that's basically what it meant, was just like they get down with girls. And I was like, it started to get trendy at the end, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. But the thing
is that I knew a lot of tomboys that did not grow up to be lesbians. Like they were still just tomboys and they were still heterosexual women. Yeah. And then we had some that still were tomboys that were definitely doms and studs in the community. And so you just didn't know, and thank God for that veil. Like you could go either way and kind of live your life the way you could live it because there was like a little veil over it.
That's true.
I feel like right now, as of now,
with dudes screwing.
I have to admit, when I saw this scene with the girls, I was like, I wasn't sure. I thought it was gonna go. I thought it was gonna really go left with the white girl, but I was actually liking her style because when she looked at her friends like, don't embarrass me, don't act like the little dumb blonde bitch that's gonna embarrass. Because when she was talking, she was like, where do you go to school? She was like, Jamaica, and the girl looked at her like, the island. And the girl was like, bitch, are you stupid? Jamaica Queen. She was like, don't act like you're dumb.
Yeah, but you get people that used to say stuff like that.
Even in the same city, they didn't even know.
They be like, Jamaica the island? No, Jamaica Queen.
Wow. That's crazy. So, yeah, I think that, like y'all was saying with the tomboys, that was a lot. And I guess maybe, I don't know if girls are called that today or whatever, but I
mean, they still, but they have a free choice to go where they want to go. You know what I'm saying?
Some of the tomboys was getting more boys than the regular girls.
That's what I was about to say.
Some guys are attracted to.
Well, I don't know about being attracted, but they was more freakier.
Hello, it's called the trans community. It's called Trig and Imani. It's called whatever it is.
I don't even think it's that. I think one of the reasons why sometimes tomboys when they're younger get more dudes is because they're hanging out with the guys.
Right.
You're chill. I mean, I've had some friends back in the day that were tomboys, and you hang out with them, and you're just thinking like, oh, this is just my homie and shit. We're just talking whatever, and then all of a sudden it's just like, whap. She's like, oh, don't get twisted. I want the D, and then you're like, well, wait, what? Well, here it is.
There's no line against masculinity and femininity, or are you trying to say something else?
No, what I'm saying is that
everybody say a man wants somebody feminine. Now all of a sudden we want a tomboy. Is
No,
that
you
what
don't.
it is?
No, see, that's the
saying
thing.
it was-
That's the
We're
thing. I
talking
don't
about
think.
adolescence right now. We're not.
See, I don't think
talking
you
Right.
understand is that these
No,
tomboys
that's
can be.
fine, because Kevin
Hold
and
I
on,
don't think you understand.
one at a time.
Hold on. I think the tomboys, what you understand is that you're thinking that these are like not feminine girls because they may act like a tomboy because they like to play rough, they like to play sports, and they like to talk shit or whatever else, but they're still girls. And when the time comes, they will let you know very much that they are a feminine woman. And I mean, it's kind of like for a lot of dudes, it's sort of like the best of both worlds. It's like you get to have somebody that has all these same interests in you. You get to have a girl that loves sports and loves watching games with you. She likes all the same shit you like, but she's also a girl.
Yeah.
There's nothing. That has nothing to do with
the same thing. It's the
no.
same.
See, I think what you're confusing is the idea of femininity versus actual femininity. I think there's one thing that's like the outwardly projection of what people traditionally think of femininity, and then you have other people who are feminine in their own way. Like there are tomboys that you can be with, and you can be at the house playing video games and watching football and all the other stuff, and then you're thinking like, oh, that's just one of my boys or something. She'll be like, nigga, open the door. I'm still a girl.
Somebody made a point in the chat with the Love and Basketball comment. She was a tomboy. She was a tomboy, but she really was in love with her neighbor.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, I feel like she's a tomboy. She sings and stuff like that. So I don't think she was really... She likes the girl, but she doesn't know what she's feeling right now.
Right.
She's still not understanding that yet.
Yeah.
Right. And Lawrence, we talking about was black girls. Because everybody is complaining that she was with the white girl. We was talking. You gotta pay attention, man. I know you know how you get, but
keep up.
You was saying was black girls in touch with their femininity like that at that time period. So that's all.
And it looks like that she's being raised by her father. We haven't seen her mother yet, right?
No.
So basically, look, she being raised by like a real street dude. Oh,
yeah,
you want to do this singing?
She wasn't there to help him.
Where was you when this happened? You was singing?
Right. So he was mad she wasn't there when he was killing people.
There you go.
I think there's
she would have had one of them hammers too, though, y'all.
You and these daggone hammers. I'm gonna wait for your birthday. I'm gonna buy you a hammer. I'm gonna get you one from Ace Hardware, though.
It makes sure.
All right. So since we speaking about the hammers, what do y'all think about the scene when 50 had to, Kanan had to pull out the hammer and nail old boy? Did that seem realistic to y'all? Larry, you kick it off. What do you think? You thought he seemed like he was nervous? It was nothing new, or what?
I mean, this scene right here, it seemed like that. Like at this part of the scene, I believe that this was probably like his first. Like he said, it was the first time he ever pulled his gun, and I believe that to some extent. He seemed like it a little bit, but.
The other one wasn't, because he was used to messing with the brother's stuff.
I mean, he's up there. He shot the dude, and then he wants to go up there, and he said he's trying to say something. He wants to go up there, and he's asking who shot him. It's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do ballistics on him? Are you gonna go up there and ask him? Oh, which one shot you? Was it the 38 or was it the 25? Which one shot you?
Right.
I mean, like the dude's gonna know which bullet went in him. It's just,
I think it was you.
This was sort of stupid. I mean, it would have been like if he had some real animosity towards this dude, and then he used that to say something like, "Nigga, I'm about to take your bitch" or some shit like that. Like, if he had some real reason to want to shoot him, but he just shot dude because he was on the corner. It just. Yeah, this is one of those things. I think this just sort of fell, like story-wise, I think it fell apart.
Why?
Right.
Like I feel like they should have had some more build-up between these two before he shot him.
Okay,
I
well,
think it
because
was a little
it seemed
fast,
meaningless.
I'm
It just seemed
sorry.
meaningless.
What you just say, Jay?
I thought they killed him kind of fast too.
They did kill him kind of fast.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Hold on. Sally Ann, thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all done came through twice for me real nicely. Let me go ahead and do a little something for y'all, man. Hold on. Since y'all done came through for me, let me y'all done came through with the paper over here. So
There we go.
let me dance a little something for y'all. There we go. Shit. Y'all got it. I'm trying to hold it together over here, but then AT&T keep bundling up my damn internet over here. So there we go. All right. Go ahead, Moochie.
Now I feel like with this whole thing, I like the fact that the other one was like, yo, I'm not going out there naked. I'm not going out there without no gun. What I'm gonna do, yell at them? So he sat around the corner. He stood around the corner and waited for them. With this, D Wiz was the one that set everything off because he the one that told them when they got to the pizza place that they was on the other corner.
Yep. And he brought the guns.
And he bought the guns because he got the gun from his brother.
Gotta watch him. You gotta watch him.
He already talked about D Wiz. He's gonna be like a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, you gotta watch somebody that think 2-3 steps ahead. And so I was like, I got my eye on D Wiz because D Wiz was, I mean, even 50 in his narration, he was saying that, oh, D Wiz always down for the. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep his name in my ear. And
I wrote his name down as soon as he said that comment too.
Right. He said, I got the shit, I got everything, I'm down and all that. And then what really tipped me off is him saying, which one of us killed him? Which one of us got him? And he kept saying, which one of us got him? And I was just like, oh, because he trying to snitch, or even he intentionally knew that he wasn't going to kill the particular person that everybody was wanting exact revenge on, which was Buck. Everybody, 2 boys died, but Buck was the only person that they always kept bringing up or whatever. Like, I don't know if he's connected.
Oh, there was another dude that got shot?
It was 2 dudes. It was like 4 of them on the block, but 2 got away and 2 got shot. But I don't know if the other dude got shot, but I know Buck died.
Okay.
So,
I didn't know that. I thought only 1 dude got shot.
I thought it was one. I thought once they started shooting, they all ran. And
they ran.
Was the last one to take off.
2 ran down the street. 1 ran up in that building or something.
Yeah, back in the building.
But I still saw another one. Well, maybe not. Okay. Y'all got it.
Let me just say this.
Larry, I was just laughing again at your ass talking about what you gonna do, rub ballistics.
I mean, but that's what they gonna do.
It was the me or you. Which one did this one feel hotter than the other one? What you think?
Ballistics.
I think maybe he was doing an exit interview with them. You know,
right?
Like, how did that shooting go? You know,
I know.
When we stood out there, were we intimidated? Were you afraid of us?
Am I gonna snitch? I'm thinking he trying to figure out like what's his story gonna be. I'm trying to figure it out.
Sure, he's trying to figure his story out because he stole his brother's guns, and now one of them got a body on it.
Kanan was up there doing an exit interview.
Right.
D Wiz is a shooter. Okay. What
we know, they probably both got a bullet in them from each gun.
It was 2 different boys. Okay,
I'll tell you right now. Here's the thing. I want everyone to know that if you go to school and you get a good education, you don't have to worry about people shooting at you.
For real. Remember, he could have been going to a good school and avoiding this. He chose this.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, and now they got people shooting his house up. They shot his house up.
And that was an old school car. It was one of these modern cars, or he would have been dead.
Yeah. So, yeah, they had the low ones with the heavy doors.
Hell yeah. You can still get in an accident and survive. Unlike today, shit, cars today get bent up like a tin can or whatever, pop can. No ma'am said they love the thugs though. Speaking of the thugs in the show, I did like the authenticity. Somebody was talking about his Carhartt coat. That was dope. The 8-ball jacket. Man, that brought back a lot of memories. You had
The
that.
super that
the
the mother had.
The Pele jacket.
Toyota super that she had.
Yeah, exactly. Man, all of the gear was on point, man.
Yeah.
90s gear was dope.
It really was.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what these kids are wearing now with skinny jeans and painted fingernails and I was like, I don't know what they do.
You're gonna look back 20 years when they doing their little throwback moments TV shows. You're gonna be like, man, what the hell? They got skinny jeans with a belt on around their thighs, booty shorts on, 3 pair of boxers. They gotta hold the pants up with the skinny jeans and the belt.
And then they walk like penguins with their pants like that. They walk just like penguins.
Right.
You know?
They be like,
right.
I'm like, I don't know how they think they're gonna run from a cop. They can't run. They can't jump a fence.
They run for the bus like penguins too.
They can't jump a fence. How you gonna jump a fence with skinny jeans on?
Right. That's why they get caught so much these days.
Right. They use the apps. Yes. You know,
for real. Exactly. And another person that I thought was pretty authentic to being somebody that was making moves back in the day was Unique. What did y'all think about this character, Unique? His look, his acting. Nita, go ahead.
Joey Badass, right?
Yeah, I never heard of Joey Badass as a rapper till people was telling me on this show. But
where he from?
He from your town, I believe.
He sound like dudes I know from back in the day too. The way he like,
yeah, I think he did a good job. I think he killed it. Like Paperboy said, I think he really killed it. Like you know, when what was the dude from Power Book 2? What was the other dude, the dark skinned dude from ATL? Like, I ain't like him.
I know what you're talking about, but he wasn't. Remember, he was from out of town too, though.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I didn't know
He was somebody from out of town that was her connect.
Hey, Keep My Leak said, "Don't diss them skinny jeans."
Yeah, this dude right here sold it. He sold it.
He sold it when I saw them sitting in the chair with the interview when they was talking about the characters with the chain, the all black, and everything.
That was dope.
I like his character.
I don't think they're gonna get rid of his character no time soon. It's not gonna be
like he's gonna be a thorn in their side, yo.
He's not gonna be like the ATL. I mean, the ATL dude, the power
got wiped out too quick. I agree.
This nigga, he is here to stay.
Like I said, he's gonna be a thorn in Rock's side. Yeah. He already talking about trying to take over the whole area, and he don't even want the money. He want everything else.
They're gonna have to get on their toes.
From Flatbush, okay.
All right.
Yeah, he was actually good. I'll be honest with you. When I first saw that he was gonna be in this show, I was worried because I was like, oftentimes rappers can't act, and they put him in something thinking like, okay, well, they're still supposed to be, so their persona, you know, when they rap is sort of like this hardcore street dude, so he could probably play that in a show. But acting and pretending are two different things, and I was surprised. I mean, the dude actually can act, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how he's going to do elsewhere in another role, but in this role, I thought he did well.
But
that was Jackie Long you talking about, Nita. Jackie Long is who you talking about from Book 2.
Oh, okay. But I was saying the dialogue has a lot to do with what is given. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got corny lines that you're trying to deliver, then the shit gonna be corny. But I feel like Unique has some really, really good lines. Like when he was talking about how the chemistry and the biology about a mother and a son giving birth, and you know, he was correlating everything. Like I felt like what he was given to, like what he was correlating to Raquel about.
I'm hearing an echo too somehow.
Huh?
And am I the only one hearing the echo?
It was just a little bit. I don't really hear it now.
All right.
Okay, I'll turn my sound down. But I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me if I turn my sound down?
You sound fine.
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead. It might just be my extension cord. Go ahead.
Okay, but no, I was just saying it was something about the dialogue that was really kind of gravitating me to his presence and what he was given to the role, because you know you can have somebody come in and try to be that person, but if he's not menacing enough and his dialogue is corny, then the shit gonna fall apart. It's only a certain type of actor that can come up and raise it above what they've given him. And I think in this writing that they were able to give him enough meat to chew on that he could like make it his own, and he can make it. And that's why I was like, he's going to be a staple. I don't think they're going to get rid of him too quick. He might be a Lobos. I love Lobos. Lobos was he was everything for me. I'm a Lobos stan. So I feel like he's like on maybe a Lobos level, maybe not so much because he's not with the cartel. He might be right under the cartel, but I really liked him. The lines that he delivered, the things that he said that touched Raquel in a way. And I'm connecting to Raquel because I feel like the story is about her. It's not about him. You know, he's an adversary. So I don't think about him like that, but I felt like he really sold the role. And so
all right.
They say Unique's character also plays Inspector Deck on Wu-Tang Saga too. But he didn't have that much lines in that. He didn't talk that much in that.
Somebody said he won an Academy Award too. So I'm definitely sleep on his character a lot. Larry, what you think about Unique? A lot of people
I don't think he didn't win an Academy Award for acting. He might have won one for his music, but I'm sure if he had won an Academy Award for his acting, we would have known about that.
Okay, Max 45 say Unique dying before this season is over.
I can see him being a one season type of dude and then they move on to something else. But somebody else was saying he's gonna get with Rock. Rock's not getting with him. Rock has already said flat out she's not getting on her knees, and she meant that literally and figuratively. You know, she's not doing that. I thought they gave him some really good lines. I thought the writers did a good job with his character and his lines. I thought that was one of the things I thought that was really good was when they were first doing that parlay, and she mentioned, you know, your brother would have never have done this, would have never have done things like this, and he said, yeah, but he's doing life upstate, and so I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, you know. And so I was like, it was great because he said it in such a way. It wasn't like he was trying to be snippy or anything. It was just sort of matter of fact. It was like, yeah, I know you're used to dealing with him, but he's gone now, and I'm running this shit, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. So get used to it, you know. Get used to me dealing with me, and you know his character. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with his character because in a lot of ways he's very typical. He's a very typical drug dealer, but he's also playing the role in a way in such a way that makes him interesting. So
at this time, Nita too, they wasn't getting in the East Coast. They wasn't getting the drugs from the cartel. They was getting they coke from the Dominicans and stuff.
Okay. Somebody said he won an Oscar for a short film. What was he in? What short film was he in?
No Ma'am said it's a movie where he gets killed by the cops over and over.
Oh, that was him? Okay, might take it all back then. I mean, I saw that Two Distant Strangers was one. It was basically like a Groundhog Day thing where the guy keeps waking up, and him and a cop, and he meets a girl. He goes home where he gets up and goes.
That was on Netflix, right?
Yeah, and he gets shot, and he keeps going through it over and over and over. I didn't know that was him in there. So I mean, if that's him, fantastic. Big ups on him. Okay, I still don't think. I think it was the short film that actually won the Oscar and not the actor. But I'll let you have it.
It's Two
I don't
Distant Strangers. I just tried to type it in, and
I don't need it. I just felt like he sold the character. I felt like the dialogue was there. I felt like the acting was there. I'm not giving it to nobody. I just felt like it was just there. That's how I feel.
Okay. I was just trying to pull it up over here. Let me see. Two Distant Strangers. It didn't pull up on IMDb, which is strange. Let me see. It must be.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, there we go. Two Distant Strangers. It's on IMDb.
So is it spelled regular Two Distant Strangers, or is it spelled?
Yeah, Two Distant Strangers.
TWO.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if that's what you did.
Yeah, it was the short that won the Oscar. It wasn't the actor. It was the short. So he still, he still didn't win it wasn't an Oscar for acting, because actually, as far as I know, I don't think they give acting awards for shorts. I believe they just give it to the short.
At the very least, I appreciate Larry not saying because he a male that he get the Oscar. It was the story. Who was the story written by?
I'm sitting
for the one that he won the Oscar for. Someone named Trayvon Free.
Okay.
I'm typing it in right here, unless I don't know how to spell.
I'm just wondering because he's already debunked one of the males, so I assumed that the other male was on the other end.
Oh, okay, here it is. It just wasn't coming up as I was typing it. Yeah. Joey Badass. He was under the name Joey Badass on this too. Two Distant Strangers. Joey Badass, Andrew Howard. Huh. I'm sleep on this.
Yeah, it was really good. It was actually a really good short. So
32 minutes.
Still, it was on Netflix at one time, right?
It still is on Netflix. It still is on Netflix. But if we're going to keep it 100, he still didn't win an Oscar. He was part of an Oscar-winning project, but he didn't win an Oscar.
Okay.
And that may seem nitpicky, but it's really not. It's sort of like saying, okay, well,
that works for me.
It's sort of like if you're in a Denzel movie, if you're in Glory and Denzel wins an Oscar, you can't really say, well, everybody else in the movie was an Oscar winner because they were part of an Oscar award-winning movie. You were part of a project that won an Oscar, but you didn't win the Oscar.
He looked like a different person in this.
With those glasses on.
Yeah. Even without the glasses, he looked like a different person.
But I will say I'm not taking anything away from the dude's acting skills, because I didn't know who I didn't know who he was at the time when I was watching this. I just watched the show and I was like, this is fantastic. It was great. And then I realized, oh snap, that's Joey Badass. Cool. And the guy can't act. He can act, no doubt.
I'm gonna check it out.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it.
Jay, let me ask you a question.
All right.
My question is, Marvin. I feel like he's a questionable character in the show. And
Marvin, which one is he?
Marvin is the oldest. He's Jukebox father. He's
the one that's always eating?
Oldest brother. And I feel like there's some shit behind him, because
I think he's responsible for the baby father dying. For Kanan father dying. When she said that comment, remember she said the comment, you was in charge and you see how it went. So
I know
was in charge at one time and he messed up.
I don't know if it was related to Kanan, but I feel like it was related to the business. And
well,
I think he might have a Kanan. He's always eating.
I like that.
What? I can't with you.
I like what you're saying, Moochie. It could be related to Kanan's father, but we don't.
It could be either related to Kanan's father or the other dude they said that was telling that they burnt up.
Yeah,
remember that guy.
Was related to Post. Okay.
Yeah, High Post got him in. Got her in the game. Because she wasn't even hustling before him.
Yeah, when he came on the scene, did y'all see like some tension? Like I felt tension, like when he came on the scene, and
they say he never missed a moment to miss a moment.
Right.
He never misses an opportunity to miss an opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
He said that in narration, and he liked to eat and all that stuff, and then he come in all nonchalant, and I was like, and then she checked him. Like it was too many signs that was leading up to like he was up to no good, and they keep trying to say he loyal. No, like
you talk about when they went to see Born Ready in the hospital when he got shot, right?
Got hit in the meat.
Yeah, he got hit in the
See, I think part of the tension that you're feeling is not something that he can't be trusted. I think part of the tension is that he's essentially working for his little sister, and. But no, I don't think it's necessarily greed. I think it's that he's working. I think he's working for it.
I feel like he's.
Hold on. Yeah, let him finish.
I think that he's working for his little sister, and that's already a problem for him. Just with the dynamic, the family dynamic of being the big brother, the one that's supposed to be taking care of everything, and now you're working for your little sister. And on top of that, when you're in the drug game, it's a male-dominated field where it's all about machismo and bravado and all that stuff. And here you are working in an organization that's led by a woman. So I think there's some tension there because of that, but I don't think it has anything to do with greed. And I think he's still going to be just as loyal because ultimately that's his sister, you know? So I think the tension we're feeling is probably more of a male-female dynamic and more of a family sibling tension, not necessarily a business tension.
Kanan killed his son. Kanan killed Jukebox. Kanan killed his son.
Kanan killed reasons.
You're talking about
way
like 20 years later.
Right, 30 years later. Moochie, get in that right quick about what Larry said. Hold that thought 1 second, Nita.
Who's his son?
Is she talking about in Power, the first Power? Sean.
No, but who's his son?
Sean. And he killed Sean because he wasn't loyal.
You talking about he killed his own son. Okay, I'm thinking you're talking about Marvin's son. I'm like, I ain't seen this.
She fast forwarded 30 years.
Fast forward where I got lost for a minute.
It's all connected. And maybe
I feel like this went
like Marvel.
He didn't kill Sean. Tasha killed Sean because everybody who sleeps with Tasha gets killed.
Oh my God.
Tasha was a Black Widow.
You know what, Larry?
Hey, I agree, man. Tasha boy.
Tasha got that killer.
You never tell.
I think he's gonna kick Jukebox out when he find out that she's gay.
Okay,
that's what I think. Somebody left that in the comment, but I feel like he's mad because he's not in charge, but he know he messed up. That's why he was quiet when she said what she said.
Okay, Lauren said, "If you always hungry, the devil in you."
You know what?
Or you have a tapeworm. You know, or you have a tapeworm and you need to go see a doctor. See, that's part of the problem. Is sometimes brothers didn't have health insurance back then. You know. So you just need that Kaiser or maybe that Blue Cross Blue Shields, you know, and then you could you get that squared away. He might put some weight on after that.
So somebody's saying they think Jukebox gonna kill her own father.
I don't see that.
I don't see that happening. Nah, I hope not.
All right, Nita, let me hear your Marvel MCU spin on this and how it's all connected.
Where'd she go?
No, what do you mean?
Back. Go ahead, explain it. We listening. What was you explaining? What's up?
No, I don't lost my train of thought. What I'm trying to say
about Sean, you were talking about Sean getting killed.
Yeah, I want you to elaborate on the theory you was trying to mention because I got lost for a minute.
Right.
I know, and I'm lost too.
What you mentioned?
You didn't got lost saying that Jukebox.
I was saying before I got cut off, so I don't know.
You said
what I'm saying is. Oh, go ahead, Moochie.
You were saying that Kanan killed Sean and Kanan killed Jukebox. I was trying to find out where you was going with that.
Right. Okay. So when I say Kanan killed both of them. Now, Marvin is suspect to me in this book. Like, I feel like Marvin, you know, men ego is bruised. It's all of that.
I'm laughing at Savage said it's the PCU, the Power Cinematic.
PCU, what's that?
Because we was talking about the
Power
MCU.
universe. It's just,
Oh, keep going, Nita. No, we're not laughing at you.
we're not laughing at you. We're
He laughing at the comment. He laughing at the comment. Instead of saying PCU, he's saying PCU.
Right.
Power.
Keep going. I'm not laughing at what you saying. That was kind of funny.
I don't know what I'm saying.
All right. What I was picking up from what you say, let you finish. But you were saying, from what I was thinking, is that Kanan's son and killing Jukebox had something to do with, you didn't finish, but it was somehow connected with maybe his behavior now or something going on, or maybe why him and Jukebox are so tight, or I don't know. We didn't finish it.
Nia, do you remember why Kanan killed Jukebox? Because I can't remember.
I remember.
Because of Tariq.
It was because of Tariq.
Like, she was going to kill Tariq anyway.
And he had formed a bond with Tariq. But I'm still trying to figure out why the bond was so deep with Tariq rather than Sean, like his own flesh and blood. And so I was trying to
Sean, you know why? Because Sean took after Ghost.
He was in jail most of Sean.
He was in jail most of Sean's life. But I'm trying to get out. He was acting like Ghost, and it pissed him off.
But I'm trying to connect that to the past. Is it for Marvin or is it for Lulu? Or like I'm trying to figure out. So
Sean slept with the Black Widow.
You know what? Here you go.
Hey man, I know y'all ain't
trying to bring in the MCU with the PCU, and that's what it came down to. Sean slept with the Black Widow.
Hey, Moochie, are you team
all of the
Tasha?
Power Moms are garbage.
Moochie, are you team Tasha?
I like Tasha, but I was mad at her when she told Tariq about selling the drugs. I would never tell my kid that.
That was really messed up, especially.
I was pissed off with that.
Tasha, Nita?
Nita, you team Tasha?
No, but
it seemed like they turned her into a bird.
So am I team Tasha?
I feel like Rock is not the same as Tasha anyway. If y'all trying to compare them,
y'all like Ghost, so y'all don't want to say y'all team Tasha. So
I don't really like Ghost. I think he was a bad dude. He was a dealer, but he unselfish reasons. He used it as a means to an end because he didn't have certain opportunities. He wanted to do it to make money, get out, and move on with his life. Whereas like Tommy and Tasha wanted to do it the rest of their life and didn't want to stop. And he was bringing and uplifting everybody else, giving them money, giving them jobs, trying to help out everybody. And in the end, they all hated him for it.
Right. Because they all wanted to live that life and he wanted to get out of that.
Right.
This was the crazy part because he made that life look so sexy. Because he was so good at it. Him and Tommy were so good at it, and he built so much that it looked glamorous to them, that they thought, oh, they romanticized the life. And he didn't want to live that life. He was like, there's nothing romantic about this shit. This shit is ugly and dirty. And there's scenes they're dragging dudes into the back of Truth and shooting them in the head and then burying bodies later. They're not seeing all that. They're not seeing all the dirt. They're not seeing everything it takes for them to do it to make this thing work. And so they're just looking at it as like, oh, it's cool. You get to sell drugs and have this nightclub and everything's fun and sexy. And they want to live that life. And he's like, no, I don't want you guys to live this life when you live it, you have to fully live it. And I think Tariq in Power Book 2 is starting to fully realize that, like, damn, I'm having to blast folks now. I might have the way he is with his white friend. He's like, I might have to kill this kid. That's my fans in them. And I might have to kill him. I mean,
yeah, you don't get a night off when you're the drug dealer like that.
Yeah,
you get a night off and get to relax when you're a club owner.
Exactly.
I feel like when you mentioned the comment about Team Tasha, I was all right with her until she did it seemed like the last season they made her turn into a real bird. as far as how she was dressed and everything.
They turned
They
both
had her
of
with,
them.
they basically had her revert back into a bird. She was like one of them.
They were both bad.
It just pissed me off the way they did her.
Made Tasha bad.
Yeah. So Ghost always been a bad person, because you can't say a murderer and a drug dealer is a good person, but they made him an asshole.
Larry, he'll say
they made a,
they did make him an asshole the last season.
Larry
didn't say he could.
He's a killer, and he's a killer and a drug dealer. He ain't shit. Oh no. He ain't shit. She ain't shit. That's what she said.
About who?
About which one?
Any women.
Oh, you was talking about
talking
about Snowfall. You talking about
Snowfall? Yeah.
You're trying to say you, Larry.
You were saying that about the mother.
The mother is a drug.
You felt like she was a killer and a drug dealer too. But she didn't kill nobody yet.
Which one? The mom?
You talking about the? Are we talking about? Remember the mother from Snowfall?
Wait, you guys are show hopping. What show are we on right now?
I'm talking about
you be changing your
mentality, your ideology. You carry it on to all the different shows.
She didn't dissect you guys to a science.
Yeah, that's a general philosophy. That is a basic worldview that I hold. That drug dealers and murderers ain't shit. Yes,
but
I carry that everywhere.
No men being shit ain't shit.
What does men and women have to do with being a drug dealing murderer? I'm talking about someone who's a drug dealing murderer ain't shit. Doesn't matter if they're a man or a woman.
It's Ghost not shit.
No, Ghost isn't shit either. Ghost is a damn drug dealer and a murderer. He's a damn sociopath.
I keep hearing y'all defend him, and I'm just trying to figure out where.
Listen, we was all for Ghost. We thought Ghost was really going to get into the politics.
Defend Ghost? If you go back and watch the old shows on Lamont's channel, I talk about how Ghost is stupid as fuck. This dude has this beautiful club and this beautiful wife, and all he can do is monkey wrench his whole life by sleeping with this little chick that he used to jump on, his little girl he used to mess with in high school as a cop, who was a fed, and he messed his whole life up. I was like, this dude should have that deal that what's his name, the white dude that used to be on Alias, when that dude offered him to go to Europe and open all those clubs, he should have left.
Okay, so
yes.
Like,
I made a video about that. That was the end of the show right there.
That dude should have left. He should have been gone. They should have had Ghost Power Book Europe, you know. He should have been running the clubs in France and the UK and everywhere else.
Yeah.
All I heard was Ghost Defenders.
I think what happens is that you hear other people defend Ghost and you attribute their ideals to me.
Absolutely not, Larry. No,
because I don't defend Ghost like that.
You, Larry,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that some of their characters. I think when we look at the original Power show, I think Ghost and Tommy's characters were far more dynamic and interesting than some of the others. But it doesn't make them good. It doesn't make me support them. You know,
right? They're likable guys. They're not good people.
I was Team Tasha until Tasha was basically like, I don't want you out of the game. I was like, why would you not want?
It's okay. I got it. I understand.
I think you have some issues because I don't cut women slack when women act bad. I often feel like I am a true feminist. I am an equal opportunity everything. You can be a woman and be just as good, or you can be a woman and be just as bad. And just like I'm going to call out men who are assholes, I'm going to call out women who are assholes. You don't get any slack because of your gender. I don't care what you have between your legs. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole.
That's how I feel.
I don't feel that that's what it is.
Okay. I know I try to be even. I don't try to, because you black.
You're trying now, Jay. You're trying now.
I'm trying now. I always, in all of my videos of Power, I never said Ghost's a good guy. Okay. Now, I will say he's a likable guy.
Yeah,
of course.
I agree with that.
He's charming. And that's one of the reasons why he's successful. He's a young,
Right.
he's a
I'm
young,
hung out
dynamic, charming dude that people gravitate towards, and that's why.
Crispy.
What is it?
Crispy silly.
There you go.
40 Larry loves Ramona.
There you go. Why didn't we get ghost power? Why didn't we get power?
Because we don't need her. Because
Ramona.
Hey, that was set up, and then they just left it.
No, they just left us hanging with Ramona. That was terrible, man. That was terrible.
You just was mad because you didn't get no satisfaction from that.
Yeah. Did you get your beer, man? I see you got it.
I did. I got it out. I had an alarm on my Apple Watch that went off. So
I just saw something in your hand. That's pretty late.
So.
But
so
man,
I said Larry just called Ghost Charming. I did call Ghost Charming because as a character,
listen.
He was a charming human being.
I do not think that people in the chat are going to agree with me because I am a woman. Y'all are not going to agree and J up as much as y'all want to because I know that's the way society has built them. That is what
Nita, that's not it.
Women get a lot more support than
who I am, and that's what it is.
Nita, that's not it. I agree with you. Nita, I think you don't realize I probably agree with you. I agree with you more times. I agree with you more often than I disagree with you. The problem is when we disagree on some very vital and crucial areas. But it's not has nothing to do with your gender.
It's fine with me because I understand that's how y'all are socialized. That is how society has built this thing that we are. You
guys are raising us, so that's your fault then. That's your fault then. You guys raised us.
Yeah, because y'all left us.
What do you mean we left us? My dad didn't leave. My dad was in my life.
By ourselves.
My dad was in my life.
If y'all want to do something better, then do something better. Then don't keep getting bitches pregnant, and leaving them fatherless, and then talking about y'all gotta raise them.
See, I think before we go, I think you're taking maybe it's I don't know if it's your experience or if it's people that you know.
All right,
but I feel like
hold on, I got to segue back to the show.
Making a blanket statement because
you're gonna have to mute everybody, Jay.
My father has 3 kids, and they're all by his wife, and that's it. Those are the only 3 kids he's ever had. My dad was around for all 3 of us all the time, and I know, and everybody that I know, their fathers were all in their lives, and all
right, let's leave it at that. Let's segue to this with the show. So speaking of raising and the women. Do you all think she gonna be able to handle Kanan? We see she trying to raise him. She told him go to his room. He said, "I'm grown." Okay.
Man, that's the part I don't get. How the brothers ain't get up and put some bees on him because he was talking smack with the mother.
But it's our fault.
No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Let's do one at
a time.
Tell you why? Go ahead, Larry. Then we go to you, Nita.
I'm gonna tell you why the brothers didn't get in his ass in that moment. Because in that room, she is the alpha. She runs that organization. She's the alpha, and it would be if they jumped in and did something like that, it would basically be putting her in a beta position, and they didn't do that because she runs everything. So as long as she was there handling it, now she said, I need you guys to take care of this. She would have been ceding her authority to them, allowed them to take care of it, but she didn't, and so they didn't move on it.
Look, I won't be surprised if that's going to happen.
But why?
If he gets out of line, it's going to happen.
Go ahead, Nita.
If we live in a patriarchy society, first of all, we already know that the oldest brother, Marvin, fucked up in how he was carrying out business. That's why she said she was in place, because he fucked up.
Okay,
so we're no longer in a patriarchal.
And
But
so,
that
what's the
means
point?
they no longer patriarchal, and they're
Hold on, Jay. I want to hear what the point is on this
at the end of the day,
one.
it's
Okay, go
always
ahead.
patriarchal. At the end of the day, it's always patriarchal. But he's saying that, okay, so we're not going to never tell her how she going to raise her son. And I guess that's why they backed up. But at the end of the day, that's the same thing as a man impregnating a woman and saying that the woman gonna have the baby and I'm gonna dip on you and it's your responsibility. But we're in a patriarchal society, but you want to still put it on a woman because you want to leave it on a woman, because you want to put your blame on the woman because she had to do what she had to do. You think she gonna kick him out to the streets?
Nita, I think there might be some transference going on there. I think you might have some transference going on.
At the end of the day, Unique said you have a bond that's with your child.
No,
that don't nobody like. I guess a man go kick. Look, I'm gonna let Unique say. He said you got a bond that is too deep and it's not for women, and so if that's what it is, and that's what it is, then but y'all need to step up and do what the fuck y'all need to do.
Nita,
if that's not what it is.
Nita, that is not the case here. The case here is simply is that she is the alpha in that room, and it would be inappropriate for somebody else to step up and take a more dominant role than her. And so they didn't, because they know that's her son.
Because
she does things the way she wants to do with her son. And if she would have given them she would have given them an order or said, I need you to take care of this, then they would have done that. But instead they didn't. What they did was they played the supporting roles, because that's where they are. They're supporting players to her. And so when they came down to doing certain things like cleaning up his situation, what they do, they decide to help clean him up. Let's go. We need to get that shirt off you so we can burn it. They helped clean him up. Those are things typically that if a guy was in a leading role, they would have had the woman do. But they didn't, because all of them are betas to her alpha. And I would think you wouldn't have a problem with that.
Right. If she told them to handle it, then that would have worked.
Which she did not have a problem with. She stepped up to the plate and did what she had to do. But what I'm trying to say, for your counter argument from it, y'all trying to say that y'all, because y'all got a piece of meat between y'all legs, y'all supposed to be in control. And that's just not what it is.
There are 4 men in there that are accepting her authority, and you seem to have a problem with it. You're trying to go. You went from that women should be in control to the fact that now that she's in control, there's a problem because the men are not doing their fair share, because if they were, they would be in control.
4 men.
Yeah,
let me hear from you, Moochie. You from that time, you raised the son, you had brothers. Let me hear what was going on from your perspective.
Look, if I would have had to tell my brother, look, to get like if he once he talked back, my brother would have said something to him.
Hello.
Once he said that I'm grown comment, my brother would have, man, get your ass upstairs. It would have went like that. That's how my brother is.
That's how I thought.
Like, who you talking
to? What if you was in her position, running an organization type thing?
Y'all in my muscle, right?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, and muscle doesn't move if you give them orders.
Listen, right now it's too soon to sick the dogs on him. You understand?
No, the uncle.
No, right now he got a warning when she sent them upstairs. It's too soon to sick the dogs on him. He already messed up the first time, right? The second time, yeah, he could get them paws laid on him.
Okay.
That would be my opinion. If you messed up this time, she remember at the end, if we since I don't want to put my track shoes on and run there. When they went there, because he defied her the first time, she showed him what the consequences was when she shot the bullet in the air and told him, now this bullet's gonna be chasing you now. You wanted to be in it, you win it.
Now can we also acknowledge that in that moment? Can we also acknowledge in that moment when he said, I'm grown now, yada, yada, they didn't say, I think they probably didn't say anything because they knew he just caught his first body. He's a kid. He's 15 years old. He just caught his first body. Maybe he's going through something, and they're trying to give him a little bit of leeway. They're trying to let the mother and the son work it out together.
We gotta coddle, but then we don't have to coddle.
I mean, you just murdered somebody. You can't go say go to your room.
What do you want? Do you want somebody to give you support and coddle them, or you want them to buck up and
you think coddling? Like you think coddling is simply because they said they're going to let the mother, who is the leader of their organization, take care of her own son?
It doesn't matter. The
leader, and you feel like she's the
organization, the leader of the family, the leader of nothing. Like if we're in the shy, y'all want the mother to coddle and be tough and do all these things. And
Nita, you don't like it when we're tough on women, huh?
To do what do you want?
It's okay if we're tough on men, but you don't like it when we're tough on women, do you?
Man to do. What do you want the man to do? That's what I want to know.
So you don't like it when we're tough on women, but it's okay if we're tough on men.
I want to know what the man do. That's what I want to know. And I want to know what they do.
I think you have some transference going on there.
I just want to know what they do. I'm just asking.
What in which situation?
All of them.
It's not. It's not just that.
All of them.
So, you can't just say all of them because every situation is different.
Okay, yeah. Well, take them. Whatever you want to take. Take whatever you feel most strongly about. Talk about that. If you're talking about power, talk about power. You're talking about shy, talk about shy. I don't know. Okay.
All right, look, let me ask y'all this question right here. Do y'all think she gonna be able to protect him? We in the last 15, 20 minutes of this. So is she gonna be able to protect him? Moochie, go ahead.
Yes.
I feel like she is gonna be able to protect him. Okay. She might have to, like I said, he might have to get them paws laid on him now. Because he's being defiant.
As he should.
He should.
Calling them niggas, let them get it. Just like he got it, let him get it.
Why?
I feel like right now,
because I'm not your shield. As a mother, I'm not your shield. You be a man and you learn how to get it, how you live. You want to be a mother.
He's a kid though.
And you want to take that place, then you get it how you live. Yeah,
but Nita, he's a kid.
No, I don't think.
No,
he's a child.
We're not doing that.
And hold on. But he's a child, and she is an experienced player in this game, and she's trying to make sure. Hold on. And he's trying to make sure. She's trying to make sure that he knows the rules of the game and how to play it.
Okay.
So you think that she should just simply throw him out there and say, just flounder? Oh gosh, did she leave?
She left.
She left.
Look,
I guess she didn't like.
I don't think she's gonna throw him to the wolves. That's what Nita basically wants him to do. I don't think she's gonna throw him to the wolves. I feel like she's gonna make sure she show him how to run his crew. Because she already trying to school him.
She said she didn't leave. Come on back.
He's gonna have to fall in line, and he's gonna have to take orders from the matriarch of the family.
Come on back, Nita.
Yeah.
I see. This is the thing. I'm looking in the comments here, and I'm seeing I think it was Ralph Ortiz says he does need the guy. He's got to man up. I agree with Nita. Here's the thing. I think that if you were talking about one of the older brothers or the younger brother, yeah, maybe fine, man up. You're a man. But we're talking about Kanan, who's a 15-year-old boy. He doesn't know the game yet. He even got in the game he got in the game because he made a dumbass mistake because he doesn't understand the game. If he understood the game, he wouldn't have shot up that corner. But that's the whole thing. He doesn't understand the game, and so it is her job forget about just being the mom. How about she is the leader of their organization, and as such, it is her job to lead. It is her job to teach. It is her job to make sure he understands how to survive and thrive. And so forget about just being the mom. It's her job as a leader to protect him and guide him and lead him. And it just so happens that she's also his mom. If it happened to be the older brother that was leading the organization, it would be the older brother's, his uncle's job to do that. It would be
I
his
want to
job.
know what he did to mess up. Where they like he not in charge.
Whatever, fine. Yeah, he messed up. No one's denying that he messed up. He messed up. Obviously, he's not in control anymore. She is. Fine, he messed up. But the fact of the matter is, whoever is the head of that organization, it's their job. That's part of the deal. That's part of the thing with being the head. If you don't want the responsibility of being the head of an organization, then step down. Let somebody else take that job. But she's the head of the organization, and so it is her responsibility to take care of those people under her. And if those people under her happen to be men, so be it.
Okay, and what's the man's place in this? That's
whatever role she puts him in, because she's the one that runs that organization. If she says this guy is in charge of muscle, this dude is in charge of the books, this dude is in charge of distribution, this dude's in charge of marketing, those are the roles that those men play. It has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with the roles. It has to do with leadership. It has to do with organization.
Hey, I just put the link up since we got about another 15 minutes left or so. Y'all can come on up since Nita, I don't know, is taking a break.
Come on back, Nita. I know you got a little salty with me. Come on back. I'll take it easy.
You Larry Sotomayor, man.
And in fact, I'm gonna stop my camera for a minute and I'm gonna go grab my other beer and I'm gonna take it easy.
She's saying, where's the accountability?
You can come on back.
All right, we got Shaq Duncan. What's up, man?
I'll be right back.
All right, what you think about the show so far and the topic? What's going on? What you want to say?
I agree. I agree with Larry, man. I agree. You know, that's not their place in that moment. You know what I mean? I agree with everything he said. You know, like, let them figure it out together. He doesn't know the game yet. So
right,
she's the alpha in that room. I agree.
Right. She didn't tell them to handle it. So that's why they just stood there like, you ain't tell them to do nothing. So they ain't going to overstep what she was saying. Lawrence, what's up, man?
What's up, brother, man?
What's up? What's up? What you think about what's going on with their dynamic in the family?
Yeah, I'm lost. Like,
All
I
right.
mean, what scene were you trying to talk about?
They was talking about Kanan, and he's saying he grown, and the mom trying to, tell him to go to his room. He's saying no, and Nita was saying that the men should have, said something. And we were saying, well, they follow the woman. She run everything. She ain't tell him to do nothing. So they stood there. Plus, you can't tell him to go to his room like a kid when he just murdered somebody. Like,
And then you see the nigga bed. Do you see it? Yo, you see the nigga bed
told
though?
you don't shoot anybody. Go to your room.
He got cut out stars and moon shapes over his bed. If you look at the episode again, you see that he got like little kid posters and shit.
Right, she gonna punish him for a murder by take out the garbage.
Right, and then knowing niggas looking for his head, you know what I mean? Like, it don't make no sense. Take out the trash, and then I just knew, I knew that was gonna happen.
In my house, you had to take out the trash every night.
After you kill somebody,
after he killed,
right after you murdered somebody, you had to.
Hey, this nigga dodged the whole machine gun. This nigga dodged the whole machine gun, bro. He dove like
even LL grandmother was making him take out the garbage in the video, and mama said, "Knock you out."
Yeah, but he didn't just
after you took somebody's life, and we don't even know if he dead, yo.
That's strict parenting right there. That's strict.
We don't even know if he's dead. How do we know that he's dead? We didn't see him die.
$120?
Yeah,
I think he's dead though.
No, I think they said he's dead. I think they said he was
then
dead.
that was bad. They should have watched him go. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't even see if he really died. We just seen him looking at him, and then it cut to the next scene. We didn't even know if he died or not. Yo.
Well, the cops were there, so he had to get gone. So I mean, I understand that the dude
he need an exit interview and an autopsy.
Oh hell no, y'all
exactly. The exit interview and the autopsy, exactly, and the ballistics. We can't forget about the ballistics report he was going to deliver.
You mean to tell me this heavy-set male dodged all these bullets?
Heavy-set male.
Jumped out of all these bullets. This is
that's an old car, so all of the bullets got absorbed by that car. Now the next week, ain't no car gonna be there.
Right. He's not heavy-set. He's husky.
He's husky. He's short and
fat. We have to remember the terminology of the time.
Right. That was the pad size.
Shaq, you think he dead? Buck?
I think
Buck dead.
I just don't like the fact that they, introduced him and then killed him in the same episode. I just don't like that.
It doesn't make any sense why they spent so much time explaining who he was just to kill him.
Yeah, like this is Buck 20. Like 20 minutes later, Buck 20's dead. Like, oh, what's the point?
And how
Like
the fuck
they should have
Rock?
gave him some real beef. Like they should have gotten into it, maybe over the beer or something.
It shouldn't be over no female though. Like that's not no real. You gonna kill over a female, bro? You from the hood? Like nah. I don't think Kanan. That's not nah.
No.
Over a bitch,
Hey,
bro.
Mike,
I mean, I'm
what's
sorry.
up,
Okay,
man?
It might be. This is supposed to be semi-autobiographical, and we know from
But Kanan was
looking at
never.
everything
Kanan was never.
50 is petty as
Kanan,
fuck.
Kanan was never jealous.
50 is petty as fuck. He's funny, but he's also petty as fuck. So
it could have started
Right.
as like over her, but then they had their own.
Yeah, some more real shit happened. You know what I mean? Like he probably killed Famous or something like that. You know what I mean?
All right, hold on,
I don't
y'all.
want Famous get
Mike,
killed.
what's
Nah,
up, man?
don't put that
Hold
out
on,
there.
No. Oh,
Mike,
God.
what's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man. What's up? What you want to say about this so far?
Well, I'm not really sure what Neil was trying to say, but what I got from it was that Kanan's mom, she's the leader, so she has a responsibility to everybody for the organization. So she needs to, of course, she's going to tell everybody what to do. She got to let people know who's boss, and the men in the situation are following her. So whatever she says, go. So with the whole Kanan killing somebody stuff, she needs to handle that right there and then, because he already not. If I'm not mistaken, that was his first body, right? Or did he kill somebody?
Right.
else?
Yeah, his first body, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she needs to teach him the game and how to survive in the streets, because if he doesn't, he's gonna get knocked off early. The part the part I was waiting for her to look in the camera and say, "All right, Kanan, I'm gonna teach you the game." like touching.
Yo, how was Rock mad at Unique though? And this nigga did some dumb shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Unique is absolutely right. He's a villain by default. Like Kanan was
Joey
dumb for that
Badass?
shit.
That's Joey Badass, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I'm saying like
Yeah, he was keeping
Kanan was dumb for going to shooting up the block. Like he was minded, like, and he didn't even know what was going on fully. You know. So like I think
if you heard Kanan's conversation before,
he was trying to take
he didn't know
initiative.
what he was doing.
he was trying to take initiative.
He was trying to take
Nigga done fucked
initiative.
up
He just
everything,
did it. He
yo.
just did it the wrong way.
He done
Right.
fucked up everything. This dumbass. Oh my
Right.
God, bro.
Oh,
Right.
And then why none of them had no guns?
well,
You
they
know what
only
I'm
had two.
No, I'm saying why none of them had no guns though? Like none of them.
None of them had any guns for the simple fact is that they was all okay to work on that block.
Yeah.
You
So they
right.
didn't think anything was gonna come from that.
So nothing was gonna happen.
That's
Y'all
that-
I
the
said
people
they didn't
with-
think that anything was gonna come from that. I didn't say
Are the
nothing
police
would
with
happen.
drug dealers or something?
yeah.
What?
Hold on, Mike. Let me let somebody One Journey try to get in here. I don't want to put too many people on my. My AT&T ain't right away.
It's crazy, dude.
One Journey, what's up? Let me hear another lady's perspective on what's going on. What do you think?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Fantastic. I like the show. I like the fact the mom is a leader. I think that at some point she and her brothers missed his hunger, missed his determination to want to join them and be part of it. He observed it. He says, look, I know your language. I know the language that you guys are talking. I understand it. And she missed it. Tariq, observing his family. When he finally figures it out, he wants to be a part of it. As soon as you know someone wants to be a part of something, the lesson begins. If you step outside of that lesson and you ignore them, they're going to go seek out that information on their own, period. Yeah. So therefore, as leader, you're going to sit down and say, I'm the boss. This is how the chain of command goes. Can you handle that? And you don't know enough to make any decisions. But he wanted to impress her. He wanted to impress his uncles. And he made a mess.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. That's why she took him out. When she took him out to the beach and shot the bullet in the air,
the lesson began.
This is the beginning.
The lesson began.
Exactly.
And people couldn't figure out why I was saying there's nothing wrong with Tasha. She sees that he's going to be headstrong and go forward. Might as well clue him in. Books equal money. This is the book of crime. This is how we do it. This is how we don't get caught. This is how we hide our loot. You got to have a book of crime.
Hey, that was a good breakdown. What was you about to say, Lawrence?
I said she sound like an audiobook. For real. I feel like I'm
She
listening
got
to
a
an
She
soothing
does have
audiobook.
voice.
a really
has a
buttery
soothing
smooth voice.
That's what you're gonna
Yeah.
say?
Like an audiobook, yeah, like
Yeah,
a
she has a
radio voice.
soothing voice.
You just fall asleep,
Thank
listen to a
you.
whole story.
She got a new YouTube channel where she talk about true crime stories and stuff. So
She
you
could
all
be the new
want to hear
Siri.
more. What you say, Larry?
She could be the new Siri.
Oh, you crazy,
No.
man, nuts, too.
That's
Turn
it.
left.
Then.
A little bit of Wendy Williams in there. A little bit of Wendy Williams. You know what I'm saying? A
No,
little bit.
please
Let's
don't
add.
compare her to that woman.
Wendy
Yeah.
Williams.
That's
No, you
that's
sound a lot smoother than
disrespectful.
Wendy Williams.
Maybe
has a-
maybe Wendy Williams will do a guest appearance on the show. We'll hear her in the background on the radio or something.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, definitely. But so yeah, man, that was a great point though. One Journey. I see I got somebody else. Let me get this other person in. Shaq, hold on a second. Let me get this new person. Paperboy #1. What's up?
Hey, what's up with you?
Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Nah, I'm just sitting back listening to everybody, man. This is crazy. Yo, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what you think
Yeah.
about this show so far and the dynamic with Kanan and his mom and stuff?
I like the dynamic so far. You know what I mean? It's like I said in the comments, it seemed like a ongoing thing with the mothers and the sons. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy what's going on. Like the moms, they try to paint them in a good light, but when it all comes down to it, they end up painting them in a bad light. Rock, she get a pass though. Tasha, we already know she trash. We already know she trash.
Damn.
Tommy mom, trash. You know what I mean? We already
Tommy
know
mom. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
You know what? I respect Tommy's mom because Tommy's mom ain't shit. She knows she's not shit. And she doesn't try
She was
to
telling the truth though.
else.
Remember, she was giving everybody advice.
Yeah, she is.
Good advice. She was giving everybody good advice. Yeah, but she was a crackhead. She was a crackhead, you know what I mean? But she was one of them crackheads that came around to give everybody advice. You know what I'm saying? Don't know one of them crackheads on the street. Give up a little, go around the corner around there and get robbed. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we know they smoking that rock.
Rock, she get a pass. She get a pass in my book though. She get a pass. She tried to get Kanan out. He just took the other route. You know what I mean? That's what it was. It is what it is. There wasn't much she could do about that. She tried to get him in a good school.
She didn't try. That's one of those things people always talk about. She tried. She didn't try. She really wanted to get Kanan out. She would have had him living at the grandmama's house.
I think this is what happened.
She would have had him far away from the game.
You gotta realize at the same time, it's a single mother. She and that's her only child. She want him around her. But I mean,
she didn't want him out of the game. Exactly. She put her needs as a mother above his needs as a son. I mean, as a mother, she should have said, okay, my first priority is to ensure his safety and well-being, and that means I need to send him away. Because
I feel like if she would have sent him away, he still would have been running his little crew.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He would have did some defiant shit. He already did some defiant thing when he shot up the boy.
Right,
so now
dumb shit.
Right,
dumb.
Before all of this, if she would have sent him to live with the grandmother, because obviously he's a smart kid. They wanted him to go to this fancy school. He had a good mind. They could have sent him to live with the grandmother somewhere else. He could have gone to another school away from all of this and had a good life doing something else. And the mom could have just funded that. Right. But instead, she wanted them here with them, and then he got mixed up in all this. So I think this is more selfishness that we see, and we want to say, oh, it's just a mother wanting her son nearby. No, that's selfishness. If you know you're doing dirt, you know your life is dangerous, put your son and your kids somewhere where they can be safe.
Right. And One Journey, hold on 1 second. One Journey, I appreciate your support. And some people in the comments was asking, what's your YouTube channel? So could you tell them before we
One Journey, True Crimes.
Nice.
There you go.
Cool.
All right.
One Journey, True Crimes, simple.
There you go. I'm gonna put the link in so you all can check it out. Because some people they don't like to type. They get lazy, man. They just want to click stuff.
Technology we live in the world.
Man. Yeah. So what was we about? Oh, so the last thing about this show, we see that bullet out that was symbolic. You think that that she got a bullet out there too?
Absolutely.
And do you think that you know, that was smart of her to show him and did it, or do you think it's gonna go over his head? What do y'all think about that? One Journey, go ahead and tell me your thoughts on that.
I think that's a brilliant way to start teaching what the underworld is like, you know, and the rules of the underworld, because he doesn't know them. He's been observing them, seeing that he wears nice clothes, they have nice things, they're whispering, they're talking in codes, and children listen. But now he's gotten his first lesson, you know, how to hold the gun. It's not a movie, it's real.
Right.
You know, how to focus with the weapon and look at the stars. You know, you either are going to be the hunted or the hunter. Are you going to be a prey? But she lets him know, we are the hunter. We're on top of it. We're not the prey. So she taught him like 4 lessons in that little moment that she was with him. Is he hearing it? No. He probably needs to hear it 3 times cognitively to get it through his brain that this is real.
Go ahead, Larry. What you think?
Every time I see stuff like this, I think this is just more selfishness. I think to myself, when you see other people whose kids get in trouble, they don't say, okay, well, you know what? You don't hear somebody say, well, you know, my son got in trouble because he wanted to be part of the family business, so I'm just going to teach him the game. They take that little kid and they send his ass to Exeter, or they send him across the country to California, to Georgia, to Harvard Westlake or something, and they send him to a little prep school and let them go to school and get their education, and then they become an attorney, and then maybe they come back when they're a grown-ass man. If they decide at that point they want to become part of the family business, that's on them because they are grown men and make those decisions. But what you don't do is just say, okay, well, you're in it now. No, you still have the opportunity to get him out.
No, Larry.
Larry, he's gonna do it on his own.
She thinks she got a soldier. She thinks she got a soldier.
That's exactly what it is. She thinks she has another soldier and she's going to use this soldier.
No, you're not getting it.
Why'd you hang your son a gun? Why'd you hang your son?
One at a time. Go ahead, Moochie.
You're not getting it, Larry, for the simple fact is, even if she moves him out to the grandmother, right? He already got his crew set up. They just shot up everybody. He had one dude doing the lookout, and he had somebody else with the trigger with him.
Right. And so you move him away from all of that. You remove him from that entirely.
All right. So let's say
started wherever he go, he may start to get it.
This is how a double.
But he might also get something else that he needs.
Disagree
to a military academy.
I disagree with you, and that's exactly how a double kid is created, like Tariq. That's exactly how a double kid is created, when he's one person around his parent and a gangster in the street.
Okay,
I'm telling you,
that could happen.
No, so how you say, I just some people, his grandmother and everything will be fine. No,
what I'm saying is
already in the life.
Moochie, what I'm trying to say is I agree with you on one level. There are some kids that can't be saved. There are some kids that no matter what, they're going to go down that dark road, and that's fine. There are some kids that are going to do that, but there are also other kids that if you give them the opportunity to go in the right path, you remove them from all of that and put them someplace else where that lifestyle is not the cool thing, where the cool thing is not to be the gangster, where the cool thing is not to be the one that's fighting, where the cool thing is not to be the dude that's using or selling drugs, where the cool thing is to actually be the dude that's getting A's in class, where the cool thing is to be the guy that's good in sports, where the cool thing is to be the guy that's...
How you going to say that?
You can remove him and put him in a place like that, he has a chance.
How you gonna say that? How you gonna say that when you gave a kid that's 10 years old a sock filled with batteries and told them to go out there and whack somebody's ass? Come on, yo. Where you?
I get it.
That was when she should have moved him away. Actually,
that's when she should have moved him.
Right, he was getting a little kid.
But it's not too late for it. We're giving up on our kids before they're even done growing up.
She's not giving up. She already know he gonna do it anyway.
That's why the pacing might be the downfall of the show.
If he stays there, he's going to do that. No doubt. I'm not disagreeing with you. If he stays there, he's going to do that. She knows that he's going to do that if he stays there. And that's why you have to remove him from the situation.
You don't think
hold on. Let me hear somebody else right quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me hear from Paperboy right quick. Paperboy, what's up? What you think about that? What they just said?
I mean, I hear what you're saying, Larry, but you gotta understand, and when you a single parent, especially a single mother, I grew up with a single mother. My father was in my life too, but at the same time, they still trying to figure it out on their own too. In your situation, you're talking about somebody that's already established, that already has the money that can send they child off to a school. Obviously, she wasn't in that position. She was sitting up there at the table bagging up with her boyfriend. Come on, man. You don't have no money for no tuition and all that other stuff. That's not happening. You gotta be realistic. But on the flip side,
that was years earlier. When we see him in the 90s, she was running her own organization.
But you're talking about sending them off, and she didn't have it at that time. She's still trying to figure it out. She's still trying to do what she got to do. Once he got older, and she did have that type of situation, she tried to get him into another school. He took a different route. By that time, he had already figured out what he wanted to do. But we as people growing up, we make our own decisions. He could have chose if he wanted to go that route or if he wanted to chill with his crew. He wanted to chill with his crew. That was his decision.
See, that's why I have to disagree. I have to disagree with that because here's the thing. I get it that maybe she didn't have it when back in 85 when he was 10, 12 years old, whatever. But years later, when she's running her own organization, she does have the money if she wants to make the sacrifices. She's rolling around with $100,000 car. She has enough money to send her kid out to a different school in another city somewhere. She has the money to send her kid to a private school in another state where he's away from that crap. She can do that if she wants to, but she doesn't want to. And that's part of the problem is that, and this idea that he made the choice to chill with his crew, he's 15. We as black people need to realize our kids are still kids, and we need to take sometimes you have to take those hard choices off their back and say, I get these are your boys. I get you want to hang out with them. I get that it's fun and exciting, and you don't want to sound like a punk that has to go somewhere else. But that's why you say, damn, I wish I could be with y'all, but my mom or my dad's making me leave. I don't have a choice. They're making me leave. And that takes the weight off of him.
She did what she had to do. He still had to take the entry exam. If he takes the entry exam and he decides
that was a school that was in the city. He was gonna still live at home. That was never gonna work out because he was gonna still be with his crew and go to this other school.
It don't matter what school you sending them to. I'm
talking about picking his entire world up and moving him to another city. I'm not talking about sending him to some school that's across town. I'm talking about sending him to another city.
Hold on 1 second. You got to take in any of those schools that you have to get into.
I don't understand how you're going to do that, and the whole family lives in Jamaica.
I just don't understand how as black people are so willing to give up on our children so early.
I'm just telling you.
How is she giving up?
Hold on. Let me hear from
instead of saying, you know what, you made a horrible mistake, let's move you someplace else and get your life together. She took the nigga to the beach and said, let me show you how to properly kill people.
Should have been a lawyer.
Nah, man.
Larry, you be a lawyer, boy. Like that.
She says, let me show you how to kill people properly so you get it right next time.
You're not being realistic. I'm not being realistic. You're not.
All right, hold on, man. Let me hear from Lawrence right quick. Let me hear from Lawrence. I want to, because I got some people waiting too, Shaq and Mike. So go ahead.
All right. The situation where you saying that,
boy, just hold on. Let me bring on Mike for a second.
You saying that you saying that she didn't put the gun in his hand, but you see what Tasha did? Tasha was like, listen, you gonna sell drugs, whatever you're gonna do, I'm gonna tell you how to do it, since I can't break you out of it, but you're gonna go to school at the same time. They said they made a plan together. You know what I'm saying? He was like, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like he listened to her, but she just looked at him and was like, yo, he was like, I failed the whole test. I don't care. And then she was like, all right, went along with it. But Tasha, that's why people are saying they team Tasha. She looked at Tariq and said, Tariq, you're gonna go to school and do this. You feel me? So you can have a back way out. You understand what I'm saying? And then it was guaranteed for him to go to school. He had to go to school because remember he couldn't get the club if he didn't finish
Money on
college.
the line.
That's what Ghost put in the will. So
Okay.
Yeah, that was
I think
right
that's a
there.
different side of the coin, though.
Say it again.
So let me see what you think about what Larry and saying. So Larry's saying that she should have still sent him out of there and got him out of there and thought process that it's already too late.
With Larry.
Okay.
I feel like if she would have sent him out, he would have been turned into a double kid.
Okay.
He would have
One
been still
Journey.
doing it.
What you think, One Journey?
I grew up in New York City. I grew up around crime. I have a Jamaican background. Crime is crime. I went to look. Once you're in a crime family and you show interest, and he did that evil move, you're in.
Yeah.
Not only that, he's not interested in using his intellect. Now more crime families are getting educated. And there's a channel called Mob Reporter, and he has written books on crime families. They are seriously in it. The gypsies in New York, they're criminals, but they're so undercover you won't even know. But I understand what you're saying, Larry. Just don't say, okay, make an effort. Make an effort to redirect him. However, she has been with this kid since he was 13, 12 years old. She's seen how he responds to things. So for her, he's already gone behind her back. So all he'll do is continue to go behind her back. He's already caused trouble for the family. So now he has to learn the rules.
Okay.
He can't fly above it anymore because he has this tenaciousness that I'm going after it. I'm going after it. He's not listening. He doesn't even know how to hold a gun.
He's not causing any problems. He's not causing any problems for the family when he's at a military academy in Pennsylvania, or he's not causing any problems when he's at a boarding school in California.
That's the same thing they say with Mike Tyson. He would come home and rob on the weekend when he finished boxing, when he come from peak skill.
So what you're saying, Moochie, is what you were saying is the same stuff that white people say about us, is that he is inherently bad and there's no fixing him. There's no help. There's no hope for him. So we should give up on him. That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm
just saying 12 o'clock boys.
I have seen that.
What you think about a little man that wanted to ride the bike? Like mom, he wasn't going to school. Mama couldn't do what
he's in jail. That kid.
I wouldn't be surprised.
In real life, he's in jail now. I don't know. He might be out now.
Still alive, or if he was in jail.
He's still alive. He was in jail though.
That's why the pacing.
He was in jail when that movie came out. What's the movie that came out based on it that with Meek Mill?
Oh yeah,
about Charm City Kings.
Yeah, he was in jail when that movie was out because remember he had the little part in that.
Yeah,
he played the boy's older brother.
It's all right. I ain't like it. It was okay.
Mike, what's your thoughts on this, right quick? Lawrence, hold on. I'm gonna bring Shaq in. Mike, go ahead.
I agree with Larry, man. I think the mom, she just wanted to have Kanan around all the time because that's her son. So I guess she just wanted him around, but. She could have been sent him off to his grandma just to, live a different life. Because if Kanan's constantly around that drug element and that gangster element, of course he's gonna be interested in it because that's all his family does. But if you send him off with his grandma, he maybe gets interested in different things. So yeah, I agree with Larry. I think because I think your environment, you're part of your environment. So if he was in a different environment where he's able to show off that he's a smart kid, and he probably would go off different thing. He probably wouldn't fail that test on purpose because he feel like he needs to protect his mom because he think his mom is messing up and he thinks his mom's in danger. So that's what I think.
Okay, Shaq, what you think about this? Go ahead, Larry, right quick. Chime in right quick. Just keep it quick.
I just see in here, I see Nita in the comment section talking about he's responsible for his own choices and stuff. And I just think that it's a little disingenuous that we sit up here and we want to say to each other that our 15-year-old children are responsible for their own choices when we have grown-ass men that are rushing into the Capitol trying to pull an insurrection on the country, and we're trying to say they're not responsible for their own actions. I think we put an unreasonable and high expectation on our own children that they should make the best decisions when they're children and don't even have fully formed brains.
I didn't say that.
Men don't even have a fully formed brain until we're like 23 years old. So the idea that a 15-year-old is making a fully formed, responsible, mature decision that they should be responsible for the rest of their life is just absolutely absurd. I think what you have to do in these situations is remove that kid from his current environment and put him in one that is much more conducive to the life that you want him to have. This mother wanted him to be a CEO and all that. She should have said, instead of just talking the game, she should have actually walked the, she shouldn't have just talked the talk. She should have walked the walk and moved him out of there and put him someplace else where he could have gotten all the nurturing that he needed. The nurturing he was going to get at home was going to be from uncles that were going to help tell him how to sell drugs, tell him how to burn his sweatshirt so he doesn't get caught after he murdered somebody. Murdering people for it. I mean, it's just, this is not where you want your children.
I agree with you, but I feel like he's already defiant. He's already intrigued by
it. You're giving up on him. He's 15 and you're giving up on him.
I'm not giving up on him. I understand. Even if you move him out there, I still feel like he's still gonna be defiant.
He's
like you're gonna have a double hit.
You don't know anything else.
Shaq, what you think about this? We had a new
Moochie, I was defiant as fuck when I was young, and I have a master's degree now. If my parents just said fuck it, he did what he did. That's who he is.
I didn't give up on my son.
I wouldn't have shit in my life.
I didn't give up on my son, but I wasn't selling drugs.
I'm not saying that you
and having that kind of element around my child.
But you also made a conscious decision to live your life in such a way that your kids will have a good good representation of what an adult is and how you should live your life. You went out and got a job that you worked at, that you had benefits with, that you can provide a healthy and safe environment for. So they didn't need to go and look elsewhere. They saw that at home.
Yeah, but that's the point. One journey. Can you highlight her comment again?
All right. This one?
Yeah, he's too young to make choices as a teen. But if a child is focused on crime, transferring him to another location won't change his behavior.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's how.
Let me hear from Shaq. Shaq, what's up? What you think?
I 100% agree with Larry on this. Like, she don't give up. Like, send him out earlier. Not even just now, but earlier. You know. So I think Kanan said something like this to her in the episode. Like, you wanted me in this because you wouldn't have kept me around it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
She even said it herself. I should have put you in it sooner. She even said it herself.
You decide. Do you want me in this, or you want me out of this? You know, because it's exactly. She was talking all that shit like she wants something better for him. She doesn't. What she really wanted was another loyal soldier.
Yeah,
and now she has one.
I feel like the decision he made kind of forced her hand. I'll say that.
All right, paper.
Even though it's not the right decision, I feel like the decision that Kanan made forced her hand.
If anybody doesn't think that changing the environment doesn't change the person, just look at 50 Cent and what we are watching right now. This dude was a drug dealer and a criminal, and he changed his environment and changed his life. And as a consequence, we are sitting here discussing his show that we have watched on TV because he changed his environment and thus changed his life.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's entertainment. But at the same time, if you want to really go that route, then we can go right back to Tariq. How many times was his environment changed? His environment was changed. He was away at school, at a good school, at many good schools, and he found a way to get out of those situations. He got kicked out of school for a gun. He was at another school in college selling drugs on an app. It's not always the environment. Sometimes a person has to make decisions too. They have to make those decisions. He went to a good school all his life. He didn't find out about his father until later on in life. And then he made a decision, of course, with Kanan's help and the influence, he started doing other things, but he still made a decision. It doesn't really matter what environment you put a person in. It's all about their mentality. If their mentality is, this is what I want to do, I'm going to take the left route or the right route, that's what they're going to do. It's not really much you can do. You can help them along in the situation, but at the end of the day, it's still their decision. It don't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter.
That's your question, bro.
Yeah, you can choose to do what you have to do, but at the end of the day, they're still going to make that decision.
Well, there's a couple of key differences here.
There's a
couple of key differences. One of them is that this show with Kanan show is sort of supposed to be semi-autobiographical, and with Power with Tariq, complete fiction. And on top of that, as you said, he got mixed up where he was hanging out with Kanan. He was a young kid. He was a teenager, a young impressionable guy who basically got turned out and got turned into a drug addict, drinking promethazine or whatever that shit is, and turned into a damn junkie, and then started selling drugs and doing all kinds of other stuff while he was high. And now he wants to be in this game because he thinks it's cool and fun and exciting and profitable. And so his life has changed because he got mixed up with the wrong people. And his mom, his mom is reinforcing some of this because this is what she grew up with. And so he has the wrong people. But really what his dad should have done, instead of sending him to a fancy private school across town, he should have done the same thing. He should have taken his ass and sent him to someplace else. There are so many people that you hear about. If you look at some of these private schools, some of these really elite private schools, you see people out there whose kids are Russian oligarchs that are all kinds of criminals from across Europe. Big Italian mobsters who send their kids to fancy schools because they don't want their kids involved in that life.
And a lot of them end up in those schools, and a lot of them end up in those schools in worse situations than they were in when they were before they got sent off, because they are with people of influence and have money, and they're still doing, and they go off to those schools and they do more drugs than they would have done at home. They drink more than they would have at home. They do a lot of things because they have that at their fingertips. They may do some drugs. They may do some drinking. But that happens at every school, no matter if you're in a public school or a fancy private school or a boarding school or whatever. It doesn't matter. There's going to be kids that do drugs and do alcohol. But the point is, you move those people away. You move your kids away. You put them someplace else where they can be nurtured and educated. And then those kids don't come. They don't go and become criminals. They don't come back and say, okay, yeah, I spent all these years educating myself, and now I want to become a criminal. That doesn't happen. They may become an attorney and defend their family members, but most of them don't go and become criminals. Man, a lot of them do. They become criminals.
John Gotti's son went away to military school and came back and got into a life of crime too.
That's because John Gotti recruited him into his. John Gotti sent his.
No, he didn't want him to be in there. He sent them to military school.
Yeah, so that he could because he wanted to teach him he wanted to teach him organizational skills. John Gotti had a plan for his son.
Come on, man. Look at all these politicians. You think they went to public schools? All these dirty politicians, all the people that's running the world right now, and a lot of people running into the ground. You think they went to public schools? Really? Come on, man. Let's be real.
So hold on. Some of them did. A lot of them went to private schools. But here's the difference. So politicians are not street criminals out there shooting and killing each other, ducking bullets behind cars. Politicians are out there making an honest living.
Obama used to bust that gap.
Really? Honest? Bruh, come on.
I'm joking, man.
Be real, bruh. Come on, man. Let's really be honest.
We about to wrap this up.
We are being honest.
No, we not.
Somebody said Donald Trump went to military school. Look at how that turned out.
Thank you. Bruh,
would you not want your son to become president? Don't get me wrong.
Hold on, Larry. You sipping the Kool-Aid,
Larry, paper boy. Hold on. Hold that thought for a second. All right. We about to wrap the show up. I'm going to give everybody about 2 minutes to say their last thoughts or whatever, or less. You don't have to use the full 2 minutes if you don't have to, but I'm going to give everybody their last final point on what they want to speak about on this topic. So, Moochie, go ahead. You kick it off. What's your thoughts on this show and this episode? What you want to say before we get out of here?
Overall, I gave the episode a 9. Even if I'm gonna just touch on one more thing before that. 50's mother died when he was 8 years old, so he didn't have a mother around for him to do what he did. So let his grandparents raised him. And I thought it was a good show. I'm seeing it how I see a lot of guys I knew from back then come up that way. That was a double kid. Like I said, they one way around their parent, and then like another person in the streets. So I mean, you saying that to send them away or whatever. But I thought it was a good show overall. It gave me a realistic point of view where I saw it, and that's that.
Okay. Go ahead, Paperboy. What's up? What you want to say?
Man, I love this show. You know what I mean? It's a period piece. I'm an 80s baby, so I loved all the stuff that I seen in there, the clothes, the cars, everything is just nostalgic. It take you down memory lane. I think 50, he knocked it out the park with that one. I'm waiting to see a lot of the stuff that comes on later on, farther along in the series. So I definitely give it a 9. I definitely give it a 9, man. As far as the other stuff, I already said what I had to say about that. That'd be a whole another hour we be talking about that. But
yeah. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on the show tonight too, man.
No problem, man. Always.
All right.
Jay, always.
Yep. You take it easy, man.
You too, bro.
All right, no problem. Yeah, come back anytime. All right. Okay. Shaq, what's your final take on this for the night, on the episode, whatever?
Since everybody's saying what they're rated, I rated a 7.5 only because I'm not a 90s person, so it wasn't like I didn't get all the nostalgia like everybody else. But you know, I did think it was an interesting episode. And back on that topic, he's only 15. Like, I agree with Larry, you know, so it go hand in hand. I mean, I get what other people saying, but he's only 15 at the end of the day. So yeah, that's all I have. It's look like it's gonna be an interesting season. I'm just sitting back and really just trying to just get it, because 7.5 is lower than anybody I've heard so far. So maybe I haven't got all of it.
Yeah, you like Snowfall though, right?
Yeah, Snowfall is my favorite show so far.
Snowfall is the ish. Yeah.
That is. That's almost the same time period. It's a little sooner. Snowfall around what, 85 to 88, somewhere in there, 83 to 88, somewhere in there.
I mean, even with Snowfall, even if you were to give Snowfall like a 7.5, it gets a 9.5 because it gets a 2-point bonus for Leon's fro. So, you know.
That fro legendary. All right, Shaq. Appreciate you, man. You can hold on if you want. Let me let Mike go ahead, kick it off. What you want to say before you get?
Yeah, I give the episode 8 out of 10. I think it was a good first episode. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you said. It's like 10 episodes, right there.
Yeah, I think it's 10.
To say that again, it was a little blurry on my end.
Yeah, so with 10 episodes, I can't wait to see how they flesh this whole season out. I'm more interested in Jukebox. I want to see how was her journey, like how, because Kanan always said how she's like the toughest person he ever met, the most street person he ever met in his life. So I want to see how she like gets to that point. So I want to see her put in work. Other than that, I agree with most of the things that you said about Kanan and, you know, being raised in different environments and being taken out and just not giving up on our young people. So yeah, so that's what I gotta say about that.
Okay. One Journey, what you want to say about the show and what you thought?
I'm not a Snowfall winner. I don't really like it. But when it comes to this one, I like it a little bit better. It's a little bit about 50 Cent, but it's not 100% about 50 Cent, if I understand it. It's about a little bit about 50 Cent, right, but it's more about Kanan, how he's going to wind up dead by the cops and spare Tariq. Did I have it wrong?
Okay.
No, you got it right.
Right.
I mean,
so,
Yeah, but not that. That's not that far ahead. How he became that man. More about it, you know.
So
It's not
okay.
going to go all the way up to that moment, but maybe I was just taking you too literally. But
Right,
go ahead,
because
you got
it's a
it.
little bit about Canaan, but I mean not Canaan, sorry. A little bit about 50 Cents, but it's really going to bring us back to the character Canaan. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. You was
Yeah.
right on that.
So
I was
right
just
now
saying not all the way up to the cop part,
to his
but
death,
you got
right.
it.
So
Yeah.
the show's moving along good. The artistic pieces are really good. The New York pieces are really good. And I think people are missing what a crime family is. I don't care if they send them far away or not, they are still bonded to the family
Yep.
in some way or not. That's what they are.
All right. And speaking of crime, you got a crime YouTube channel you just started. You want to tell everybody what it is again?
It's One Journey, True Crime. And Larry, when I come to see your reviews, I remind you to don't forget to come by all the time.
All right, I'm gonna come through. When are you gonna do a live stream? When are you gonna invite me on?
I
just
don't have enough.
subscribed.
I don't have enough for a live stream. I can only hang out with Jay.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll have to do a live stream and bring you on my channel.
Now you
See,
made
that's
me
it.
feel special.
Thank you, Jay. Bye bye.
All right. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You got that smooth butter voice over there.
She really does, though. It's nice.
All right. Before I get to Larry, I save Larry for last, man.
Uh-oh.
Lawrence, what's up? What you got to say before we get up out of here? Before we get to Larry.
Man.
I've been keeping track too. So he said 2 minutes for everyone. Not everybody went 2 minutes. So I'm taking their time.
Right.
No,
that's why I saved you for last. I already know your ass, boy. You are very detail oriented. That's why I was saving it. So
yeah, I I agree with Larry 100%. I feel like she gave up on him. You know what I mean? She really did give up on him. And I like what Tasha did with Tariq. She made a plan. She didn't make no plan. She looked at Canyon and said, "You know what? Fine, I give up." She gave up too easily. Tasha made a plan with Tariq to put him in school and have him selling drugs. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna help you. You feel me? She just put a gun in his hand. So that's gonna be one of her soldiers. He gonna be a shooter. That's the birth of a shooter, right? Okay, part 2. I feel like the pacing of this show,
or maybe she was just trying to have him be able to watch his back, because
they already coming for him now. So I don't know.
The school gonna protect.
Yeah, but I understand. Okay, but I guess we all doomed to our destiny, right?
I don't believe that. I think we control our own destiny.
Right, he already pulled the trigger and killed somebody. He got these guys coming after him now. So I mean, what you want him to protect himself with?
That was dumb to me. I don't know. But anyway, I think the pacing of this show is really the pacing of the show is scaring me so far, because I don't want it to be like the Fast series, like we talked about last night, Jay, where like it's all like murder, action, but the story's weak. Like the story's not gripping me. It's like everything we expected, but it's moving super fast. You feel me? Like we should have seen more of Kanan when he was a kid, beating that dude up with the batteries from Jason Voorhees shit.
Yeah.
We should have seen more of that when he was a kid.
I agree with Lawrence on that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like on that. I think we need more story instead of just, sort of action. And I mean, there were some cool parts in here, but I feel like we just needed more story to go along with it to support that action.
Right, and I hope that don't mess up like the series, man. Just want to see, somebody get shot in the back of the head, bad dialogue, somebody get killed, bad dialogue, somebody get burnt up, bad dialogue. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that, but like I said, it's gonna be an action. It's gonna be full of action. So action junkies, you're gonna get your fix. That's what I see. It's moving super duper fast, bro.
This damn screen look like it's freezing a little on me over here. All right, Larry, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Yeah, first of all, I have to address Chris P in the comment section. He's talking about I'm drinking a huge beer. It's not a huge beer. It is a cooler. So it is a regular beer. It's just I have a cooler so that my beer stays cool instead of having to try and rush and drink my beer for it. This way it stays nice and cold. Anyways, also, he also addresses. He said something about Donald Trump, went to military school, and look how he turned out. Now, I will say Donald Trump is an asshole. I do not support him at all. But what I will say is he became president of the United States of America. Now, if you're saying, look how he turned out, if I'm looking at my son and I'm saying, hey, send him to military school and maybe he becomes, president of the United States, I'm thinking that sounds like a good ass deal to me. I would want my kid to have the opportunity to be the most powerful man on the planet. I mean, that is now you don't have to like the man, but I would like him to have that opportunity. And so
that's hell of a come up.
So yes, look at Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but look at what he did, So now I will say this, as far as this show, I'm going to give it, so far, this first episode, I'm going to give it probably like a 6.5, maybe a 6.8. I thought it was a little
7.5 before.
Well, after revisiting everything, I've had to lower my rating.
Larry, Larry, bro.
I think it's
6.5.
I like the show. I'm going to continue to watch it, but I think that it's lacking in a lot of ways, and I think that it can pick up. I just feel like some of the things I didn't like were like 50's narration actually threw me off a bit. I found that I was really liking the show in the second half when there was less narration. I felt like in the first part of the show there was more narration. I just didn't like it, and not that he can't narrate. I just want either less of it or I want it to be more impactful. And I didn't feel like this episode had that. And some of the story on here, I just felt some of the story's a little bit weak. It could be good, but I felt like some of it was a little bit weak. I don't know. There was something about it that was like, there's some.
But you like the book too better than this, something.
Huh? Say it again.
But you like book 2.
I do. I was not expecting to like book 2. I was fully expecting to hate on book 2, and I actually like book 2. And like I went into book 2 thinking like, why in the hell did they make a show about Tariq? I hate Tariq. Everybody hates Tariq. But I left out of book 2 thinking like even if I don't like Tariq, I like the show. The show is really good, And so, but this show, there's just something missing. It's just something missing. It doesn't have like that special that special it factor that really made me love Power and Power Book 2. But I'm not saying it can't be there, because this is only the first episode. So maybe as time goes on, it will get better. I felt like there was so much that, and here's the thing, I know some people are going to disagree with me, but I feel like that they relied too heavily on New York. People always talk about New York's a character in the shows, but I think sometimes filmmakers use New York as a crutch. Instead of telling the good story, they use New York as a character, as a crutch. And you had all the throwback retro clothing. You had all the great music. You had the clothes, the cars and all that. You had everything that gave you sort of that whole 80s and 90s, vibe that kind of threw you back and gave you the nostalgia. And I felt like they leaned too heavily on that and didn't go with the story. And I would have rather have, don't get me wrong, I still want all that. I just want the story. And I feel like sometimes they use those things, instead of using them as tools, they use them as crutches.
They did the same thing in Snowfall, though. So I don't understand.
Snowfall is different, though. Snowfall is so.
The only reason why Snowfall is different because it mentioned the CIA and had that part. That's the only difference.
No. Snowfall is so heavily story based. Here's the thing with Snowfall, you could take Snowfall out of the time frame that they have and move them anyway. You can take them out of the 80s, move them to the 70s or the 2000s, or you can take them out of LA and move them to Miami or Chicago or New York or anywhere else, and that story is still going to hold and be strong and be great. I'm not feeling that same thing with this show. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to get better, because sometimes the first season or the first episode is just okay, and then it gets better, And I've seen that happen plenty of times. So I'm not giving up on the show. I'm just underwhelmed by this first episode, you know. But Snowfall is fantastic. Snowfall is a fantastic show that's very story driven. So I'm right now I can't compare the two.
I want to keep it going, but my internet.
Yeah,
my internet is trying to give out on us over here. Somebody's tripped on my extension cord to AT&T or something, man. It's even worse. I don't know why
Nita's in the comments hating on me. Nita's been up here just
somebody outside
at me in the comments. Nita, you could come back through here and you know, no one told you to leave.
Boy, she said she didn't leave, but in another comment she said that's why I left.
Yeah.
Said maybe you was in military school. I want to put the comments up, but every time I do, it starts freezing again. So that's why I ain't put them up.
Telling his story, y'all already know how it's gonna end. So I don't understand how y'all want to change the way it went.
Because here's the thing, you know how a story begins, like you know how a story ends. Maybe you know how a story begins, but what makes
now we know what led it up to this. So now,
but what makes a story good is how you tell it in between. That's what makes it good.
Yeah.
So
never mind.
That's all.
Whatever I say, you're gonna rebut, so it doesn't even matter at this point.
Somebody, Chris P is saying Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. Think his daddy was proud of his son's aspirations in hindsight. See, I think that people are. I think you're not understanding either because you don't understand or you're intentionally trying not to understand. But there's a difference between somebody being proud of you and doing something worthy of being proud of versus somebody doing something that is just like becoming president. I mean, becoming Chancellor of Germany is a huge deal, whether you like the person who did it or not. Whether you like what he did with it, I mean, Hitler was probably the worst human being on this planet. But becoming Chancellor of Germany and doing what he did was a big deal, no doubt. If he wasn't a big deal, it wouldn't have mattered what he did because he wouldn't have had the ability to go out there and do all the terrible things he did. So all I'm saying is that it's important that we give our kids the opportunities to do the big things in life. That's all I'm saying. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like what he did. But if my kid gets the opportunity to go to become president, then great. I hope he's a great president and becomes a bad president.
It was funny.
Anyway. Somebody say Larry and Nita got to get in the ring and box. I'm not going to box Nita. I
get
like
what
Nita.
you're saying. That just was funny coming
there,
after the Hitler. They give my kids a chance to do the All right. I'm about to end the show. Everybody, thank you for watching. All the 100+. Thank you for all the great super chat, the love, support. Make sure y'all subscribe to Larry, Nita, Moochie, One Journey. Everybody, let's support each other. I got the links in the description box, and I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Tuesday we talk sports. Wednesday I'll be over there with Lamont. We'll talk about some more power, and I got some more uploads coming as well. Larry and Moochie, hang on if we talk for a second after this. Everybody, y'all have a good night. Hope y'all had a good time, a little bit of entertainment, and be safe, and make sure you give your kids a chance to do the big things in life. I like that.
Exactly.
Whether they become the next whoever, give them a chance.
Yeah. You can't control what they do, but give them a chance to do it.
We out of here.
Peace, y'all.
That's true. The damn thing don't want to end now. They want to keep going now. Don't want to stop.
Now we're on there. Oh man! Oh, did he leave us? Did he give us the channel forever? Oh, we can keep this stream going, Moochie, forever. We can keep it going for the next. Let's see. Let's talk about Titans. I haven't watched it yet.
I didn't watch it yet. I want to watch it. It's still on?
I damn sure don't know nothing about that.
It's still on. We're still live.
Yeah, it's still on. The damn show